Hello, sports fans and chess fans. How are you doing today in this lovely Wednesday? I'm Latvian Grandmaster Arturs Neiksans, and I'm very happy to be here because this is the final day of the 54 International Biel Chess Festival. Yeah, it's been a long ride, which started at 24th of July with the Chess 960 tournament between 8 invited Grandmasters. Yeah, which was followed then with the Grandmaster Triathlon, really unique tournament. I mean, it's a classical tournament of 8 players playing a round robin tournament. Then it was a rapid tournament, a blitz double round robin tournament, and followed by a classical tournament as well. So today is the final day. The players are playing out the final round, the round 7 of the classical tournament, and everything will be wrapped up today. So before we check what is happening, let me remind you what are the current standings in the Grandmaster Triathlon. So there you go, it is Gada Kamsky, the American chess legend, 5 times United States champion, who is leading the charge with 31 points. Now, he played greatly in the rapid tournament, scoring 5 points out of 5 at the start, then slowed down. He had a mediocre blitz event, although he managed to finish strongly in the final rounds, and then in the classical tournament again, Gata indeed is shining. Yesterday he managed to beat with the black color. Who did he manage to beat? To be honest, I already forgot. He played really stunning game. Yeah, it was against. No, wait, it wasn't. Yesterday it was 2 days ago against Alain Pichot with the black color, and yesterday he obviously, of course, made the draw with white against Arin Nikhal. He is one of the direct competitors. So it's only Alexienko who can stop Kamsky from becoming the champion in Biel this year. So if Alexienko wins today and Kamsky does not, if Kamsky draws, again, let me remind you the scoring of the classical tournament. It's 4 points for the victory and only 1.5 points for the draw. So if Kamsky doesn't win this, Alexienko wins it. So Alexienko is becoming the winner of the tournament. However, if Kamsky wins his game, the tournament is finished. So the pairings for today, the round 7, as you can see, the most important rounds is Alain Pichot against Kirill Alexienko. Alexienko is fighting for the win with black. And the same applies for Gada Kamsky, who also has a black color, but he's playing against Vincent Kiemer. Alright, let's switch back to the action, and I guess we'll start with the main event, which is Kamsky's game against Vincent Kiemer. And as you can see, for Vincent, things have gone from bad to worse very quickly. So let's check how did this happen, because Kamsky has an amazing position after the opening. He played Dutch defense, clearly sending a signal to his young opponent is that I'm here to play this game for the win. So let's start it. And it was play d4 f5, bishop g5. Yeah, so I had a peek. I had a peek at the start of the games before. Yeah, where's my video, by the way? Not sure where it is. Okay, I hope it's gonna appear here. Yeah, there's some lag for some reason. But yeah, so Kamsky played Dutch defense, a very sharp opening, which I absolutely understand because it's also one of my favorite weapons. And Vincent had a thought what to do here. So he played bishop g5, which is perfectly playable. And now after g6, which is the best setup here for black, black wants to play bishop g7 and then see what happens with the development. By the way, where's my camera? Just a sec. Let me double check. I mean, it's supposed already to turn on. For some reason, it's not. I don't know why. I don't know why. Strange. Because it was working before and now it's not. Yeah, I've been struggling with the. I've been struggling with the camera issues all week. Okay, here it is. You can see finally the signal is back. I don't know I don't know why is that really, but yeah, it just keeps disappearing. So anyway, Kamsky played this opening, and clearly hinting at bishop g7 and maybe knight f6. So it really depends how white wants to play this out. For example, knight c3, bishop g7, there's this tricky line with e4, and many players really like to punish black for the chosen strategy, because, I mean, how dare you to play the Dutch defense against me? I'm gonna destroy you right here. So e4 is a very known approach, but after f takes, knight e4, black typically plays d5, knight c6, and moves like knight h6, knight f7. So there's even some funny ideas, like white can play knight g3, and after knight h6, so the idea for black is to castle, maybe sometimes knight f5, maybe sometimes knight f7, c5, knight c6, try to destroy the center on d4. So white has access to knight h5. I've fallen into this trap myself. So the idea is g takes is impossible because bishop takes on h6, queen takes on h5 is just, I guess it's not good, although I see there's bishop g4. Anyway, it's not good. So there's a number of ways how white can try to play this out, but I mean, okay, Vincent decided to play e3, knight h6, and this is a very interesting maneuver by Gata, because the knight is often going to f7 and then try to charge at the center with something like d6 and e5, but in reality it's provocation. He is provoking his opponent to do something. And the most famous quote which comes to my mind is the one of the former world champion Tigran Petrosyan, and he said, I mean, that's a very famous quote, if your opponent is playing a Dutch defense, just don't stop him. Allow him to play, because if white starts to play some gambits, this is exactly what black wants. So, and some Staunton gambit ideas or some early g4 ideas, and black is usually feeling like a fish in the water, and Kamsky is feeling exactly like that. So he has immense experience in the Dutch defense. So knight h6 is a provocation, inviting, come out and play. I'm here. And there's a number of ways how white obviously can play here. I guess the most tempting choice is to play h4. So something like h4, knight f7, and I mean, there's knight f3, there's bishop c4, there's bishop f4, there's so many ways. There might be even some queen f3. I've seen ideas like this as well. So queen f3, queen g3, and try to bother black at the king side. But it's a very rich improvising game. So Kiemer decided to play bishop takes on h6, and this I felt not a forced move. I mean, you didn't have to do that. So his idea was that after bishop takes on h6, white plays f4 and aims for some kind of close structure by playing knight f3, I don't know, some kind of a Bitwinic setup. It looks quite similar. Knight f3, queen d2, etc. Maybe h4, h5. But this also gives black quite a lot of freedom. So essentially, white has traded a very good bishop on g5 for maybe not so good knight on h6. So this trade happened. d6, knight f3, knight e7. So black already is hinting at some ideas of e5 or c5. Because he has the two bishops, he should be looking for ways to open the position. Vincent decided to go aggressive way. He played h4, knight f6, h5. So that was really interesting. So I guess the idea is some kind of a typical exchange sacrifice. I'm not sure if it's really working here. I was thinking something like rook takes, g takes, and then you play somewhere with the knight. I mean, maybe it's not a big deal. Something like knight e2 or maybe knight h4. This idea of the exchange sacrifice, it's a very known motive, obviously, in Dutch defense. So Gata didn't do it. He played safe. I mean, okay, you wasted 2 tempos for playing h4, h5, now you can waste the third one by taking on g6. So Vincent did, he took on g6, takes, bishop b5 check is a nice idea to provoke black to play c6, because then maybe the bishop on d7 is not going to be feeling so happy. So the bishop goes back, and after queen b6, around here, I think it already was getting quite apparent that black is taking over. Black is taking over the game because white's entire approach of playing h4, h5, bishop takes on h6, f4, knight f3. It was just too much. Just too much. And Kamsky made all the normal moves. Now he started to bother Kiemer, the pawn on b2. And naturally, Kiemer doesn't want to play rook b1 because where's your king gonna go? I mean, if you play rook b1, what do you do next? If you play queen c1, how are you gonna castle? So it's a known problem. Mistakes come in pairs. So obviously, I think Winston wasn't happy with decisions he made before, so he made his things even worse. He played knight h4, bishop g7. Now it was a pin, knight a4. So I think these last two moves, knight h4 and knight a4, definitely cannot be a great idea. But okay, I mean, he did it. Now after queen a5, c3 is impossible because after b5, white loses the knight, so knight c3 he had to go back. And now after knight g4, Kamsky started immediately to charge forward because he uses this opportunity that white is still stuck in the center. He still cannot castle short. Now the pawn on e3 is under attack, so king e2 was the sad choice. I'm not sure why queen d2 was not possible. Queen d2, maybe some problems with bishop f6. The knight is under attack, and after g3, g5, take, bishop g5. Oh my goodness, what is happening here with the pawn on e3? Some sad moves like knight e1 already have to be played. So white is definitely suffering here, and that's why Winston played king e2 here. After king e2, bishop d7, Gata just continues development, sacrifices the pawn on g6, knight takes on g6, rook g8 was played, so the knight on g6 doesn't really do much. After rook h7, bishop f6, queen h1, long castle. This is what was played by the American, and after knight e7, takes, c5. I believe this is the current position. So I very quickly fast forward the last moves by Vincent, and of course he knows he's in trouble. I mean, usually it comes as a revelation at some point that he probably now is kicking himself for going for this bishop takes on h6, f4, h4, h5, so many lost tempos while not finishing the development. Now the king is on e2, and despite the fact that black is down a pawn, he is clearly holding the initiative. And again, let me remind you the overall standings. If Kamsky wins this game, it doesn't matter what Alexienko does. So if you're talking about the victory of the tournament, of course, there's still the fight for the second place, still the fight for the third place. But what kind of soldier doesn't want to become a general, right? Everybody wants. And naturally, every player wants to become the winner of the tournament, and the same applies for Alexienko and Sarin Nikhal. But Sarin, unfortunately, he cannot get the first place anymore because he's trailing 4 points behind of Gata Kamsky. And even if Kamsky loses today, which I don't see how it's possible, and Sarin wins, they're the same points, but the tiebreaker is going to be better for Kamsky because he has a higher result in the Chess 960 tournament, which serves as a tiebreaker. Queen g1 was played. I guess the idea why he played it, he was concerned about incoming knight e3. So let's say I'm gonna make some random move. Let's say a3. It's a completely ridiculous move. I just want to show the idea. So knight takes on e3, king takes on e3, and c takes on d4. So this must have been Kamsky's idea. And obviously king takes on d4 is a mate in one. So yeah, highly not recommended for white. So that's why Winston plays queen g1. But with the king on e2, white is definitely suffering big time here. So if white could somehow magically try to remove the queens off the board, it would be just a fine position. But the queens are there. So the knight on g4, I guess black is toying with some ideas of queen b4, c4, maybe queen b6 bother the pawn, maybe bishop c6, knight e3, rook g2. There's so many ideas, maybe e5. So many ways to try to get to the king on e2. And I think that's really a nice strategy by Gata. I mean, he had to make this choice today, fight for the win, because again, the tournament standings, he's leading the tournament with 1.5 points. But again, every victory is 4 points, every draw is 1.5 points. So if he draws and Alexienko wins on demand, he is second. So that's why Gata came today to play for the win. Play for the win, whatever. I mean, everything depends on you. I like this approach. I mean, you're deciding the fate of the tournament yourself. You're not going to wait for your opponent not to win, because you never know. So it's better to decide everything yourself. Right, now let's have a peek in the second game, the most important game of the day, which is Alexienko against Alain Pichot. So I see there's a request to see Saren's game. Don't worry, we are gonna see it. We are just gonna first pay attention to the leaders, so that everybody is not missing any action here. And maybe also let's put it from the Black's perspective as well, since Black is fighting for the win here. I mean, tournament situation demands for Black to win this, but I don't like Alexienko's position. I think Pichot is slightly better here. So what did I do? E4, C6, and among professionals, C6 is considered to be actually one of the most aggressive continuations. It seems peaceful, but there are so few lines which lead to drawish lines, at least right away. And very often the pawn structure is not symmetrical. So even if it looks peaceful, Alexienko is the aggressor here. So after c6, knight f3, d5, knight c3. Yeah, this is quite an interesting line in the Caro. Bishop g4, h3. Yeah, bishop f3 is a main move. Bishop h5 is also playable. I placed myself this line a number of times with white. e6, bishop d2 is the modern move. Bishop c5, I don't recognize. I think usually they play something like knight e7 or knight f6, but okay, I mean bishop c5. But the interesting moment arose here. After the short castle, knight e7. Now, I think I can try to explain what was Alexienko's idea here. He wants to play knight e7. Normally, Black plays knight f6. But sometimes there's the knight on e7. For example, let's say white plays not very ambitious, plays something like d3. d3, knight e7, something like, I don't know, bishop d2, short castle, rook e1. Seemingly normal moves. And now f5 is a very characteristic idea. So let's say takes, and then somehow Black manages to get some space advantage, and the bishops of white are not really doing anything. So that is one of the ideas why knight f6 is not played, why knight e7 is the idea. And I think this was Alexienko's idea all along, why he played first bishop c5, why he played knight e7, trying to keep as many options as he can. Now check out the next move that Argentine Grumster did. Knight a4. And it is almost a novelty in the position. I mean, pretty much nobody has played like this before. And the idea is obviously not to win the bishop on c5. The idea is to push away the bishop from the long diagonal so that white can play d4. And Alexienko here spent a great deal of time, because this is a move which I don't think he was very happy to see, because he played bishop c5 to stop white from playing d4. So he had to play bishop d6. Now white plays d4. The white knight is going to go back, but white is left with the pawn on d4. Now knight e7, exactly as I predicted. And here, Pichot made a very interesting choice. And I think it's also quite interesting from a psychological point of view, because obviously Pichot is not fighting for top 3 overall. Yeah, he is slightly behind it. So he's just here to play a good game. But he knows that his opponent is supposed to play it for the win. And he can use it to his advantage. So he's going to try to play some simple positions, sort of playing for the draw, but at the same time waiting for his opponent to make committal decisions. This is a very pleasant position to be in. You're not feeling any stress, right? If you're playing from the white's perspective. So here, he played e takes on d5. Not e5. E5 would probably be something that Alexienko was hoping for, because the position is a closed character. Maybe the knight's gonna outmaneuver the white's bishops. So e takes and c4. So white is opening the position, and after short castle, knight c3 takes here. After knight g6, g3, white is trying to limit black's pieces so that there's no knight h4, knight f4. Here, I think Peugeot got exactly what he wanted. Because again, the normal move here is something like knight b6 and try to block the square on d5. But again, remember the tournament situation, Alexienko has at least to try to win. Because if he draws this, Kamsky can already make a draw immediately. Maybe even from the position of strength right now. I don't think he's never going to do it, because he's simply already strategically almost crushing Vincent Kiemer. But let's say if the position was about playable, and not with the obvious advantage for black, I think Gata would just accept a draw. So that's why here Alexienko played c5. And this is a move which I don't like. I mean, it's an ugly positional move because it opens the position and also gives up the pawn on b7, but it also creates more tactical possibilities for black. And I think Alexienko knows it. He knows it, that it cannot be a good move, but at the same time, it's creating him some practical chances. So after c5, d takes on c5 was played, bishop takes on c5 was played, and here Peugeot just plays it safe. He played rook d1. I mean, not queen takes on b7, so I'm not sure why queen takes on b7 wasn't possible. I just see it as a free pawn. So maybe some knight e5 attacking the bishop. There might be some attacks here at the king side, some h5, h4 ideas. And let's say bishop e2, rook b8, something. And black is having at least some activity, although objectively, it's not good. So Peugeot here played rook d1 to play it safe. After knight e5, queen e5, queen c7, bishop e3, rook d8. I think we are about to reach the final position. Oh wait, we are not just yet. So why just play the positional game? Bishop g5, queen c8, takes, king g2, h6. Now the bishop goes back, rook d8, knight e5, king f8, and bishop e3. So this is the position, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for black, because how you're gonna play this for the win? White is just playing it safe, waiting for his moment. Bishop e3, knight e3 is played, so I think white is simply slightly better. So maybe this entire sequence of what did he play here? Yeah, I'm not sure about. Bishop g5 looks really good. Queen c8, rook c8 looks good. Okay, maybe here was something better. Something more active, like knight e4. Yeah, knight e4 looks very tempting. To push away the knight, there's some knight e6 ideas, then bishop e3. But still, white is playing super solid chess and waiting for black to make some big decisions. Yeah, very, very difficult moment here for Alexienko, because, I mean, of course, if it's going to be a draw, it's not a tragedy, right? So he's going to be slightly unhappy that he was unable to try at least to win today, but he definitely is looking for the win overall, because yesterday he played this study-like endgame against Boris Gelfand. I finished the broadcast before it, something like half an hour before, and I predicted it's a draw. And it indeed was a draw, but it was really a study-like draw, and the table basis later confirmed. Yeah, it was a draw, but Gelfand didn't find it. With some mutual mistakes, the Russian Grandmaster was able to convert his extra pawn to a victory, but it was really, really interesting. So many interesting games for study later. Knight e3, there you go. So of course black is gonna try to play aggressive. Now the question is, rook b1 I think is completely playable. Rook d2 is a bad move because of knight f4. Now clockwise, there's no time trouble. Nothing is happening here. Yeah, so white is completely feeling fine here. Alrighty, let's switch to Sarin's game. Just a second. Let me just find them. I cannot find them. There we go. Yeah, the cam again is lagging. I don't know why. So this is Nicolas Sarin, who is not present at the board, and he's playing against Maxime Lagarde. And tournament-wise, maybe I can very quickly check what was it. Sarin is in the third place with 27 points. So if he wins and Alexienko loses, he can try to overtake Alexienko the second place. But if Alexienko draws, he's at least secured himself the second place. But of course, I mean, Nikol is gonna try it. B3 again. Yeah, he's a big fan of B3, which I think I mentioned a number of times. It's not only him, it's all of the, not all of the, but many Indian leading players. They're playing the B3 setup, which was advertised by their countryman Adiban Bhaskaran, having written a certain chessable course. So B3, E5, bishop E2, D6, C4, yeah. All of this looks quite normal. Now, queen takes on d4. I think I've played some blitz games like this myself. So the idea is to position the queen on d2, knight c3, and seek some activities at the long side, maybe castle, long h4, h5, etc. I definitely recognize this idea. Bishop g7, knight f3, bishop e2. Yeah, all of this looks normal. But also the Frenchman, I really like what he was doing here with black. So this knight a6, I love this move. So black's idea is to play at some point knight c5, a5, a4, maybe c6, queen b6, and generate a typical King's Indian counterplay against white's queenside. Just a second. All right, so in the game, knight c3 was played. Knight c3, knight c5, or rook d1. I'm not sure about this move. I felt maybe something like queen d2, rook f d1, rook c1, but okay, I mean, probably is just fine. And was this an invitation for a queen sacrifice? Something like knight e4. So, too bad this was not played. Ah, wait, it's 3 pieces. I thought it's only 2 pieces. Queen takes on g7 and knight e4. So there's discovered check, but from afar I missed that the third piece on c5 is also under attack. So let's say something like king f8 and knight takes on c5. Now, naturally, white is much, much better here, if not winning, because 3 pieces equal a queen, 3 light pieces equal a queen, and the black king is exposed. But this doesn't happen. a5 was played, bishop a1, bishop a5, queen d2 has to go back at some point, and queen b8, very original idea by the Frenchman. Queen a7, and after knight b5, queen b6, bishop b2. Now this is the position, so it's a lot of maneuvering. I think white is waiting for black to play a4 at some point so that he can respond with b4, and at the right moment some knight e5. Bishop b5 was played, and this is the moment. This is the moment right now, although I think I see white has made a move here. Let me check if I can do something with the cams. No, yeah, they're not working. Okay, it's gonna be back. It's gonna be back. Don't worry about this. And all right, so after bishop takes on b5, I'm not sure exactly. I think c takes on b5 looks very tempting in order to activate the bishop here on c4. But also knight takes on b5 looks good. Knight b5. I'm not sure what is black's idea. Maybe something like this. Knight e4, trade it, and get some kind of a disposition so that the knight is playing against the bishop. And black can get very creative at the queen side. So I'm sort of guessing. But I think c takes on b5 looks the way to go. Maybe I'll reload the board. If there's a move, no. There's no move. White is definitely better. For your ease to follow the games, I've also installed half points. So if he wins, Lagarde overtakes Sarin. Yeah, so definitely Lagarde is looking towards the win. Okay, there you go. The cameras have come back to life. That's good. That's good. I mean, I want to say we have got amazing cooperation with the Biel Chess Festival organizers. They're doing a fantastic job, and it's been an absolute pleasure for me to work for these almost 10 days. And yeah, I wish I was there. I wish I was there to feel this atmosphere, because I've seen some of the pictures posted on Twitter. Really, they have a great program also after the games. They had excursions. There was this Swiss national holiday, was it? I think Switzerland was celebrating 730 years. If I'm not mistaken, I apologize. So the players really enjoy their time there. So it's not only they are working very hard every single day, but in the rest days they have really good time. All right, so yeah, Sarin is thinking about this position right now. Let's just switch to the fourth game in the meantime, which should be the game of Boris Gelfand against Noel Studer. Just a second. Here we go, and here we go. All right, so this is the position, and yeah, Gelfand yesterday suffered this big loss, because he was really fighting well against Alexienko, and I predicted the game is going to finish in a draw because he was leading this very difficult endgame for a long time. Yeah. Okay. So okay, here we go. The camera is coming back. After e3, e6, bishop c4, c5, short castle, a6. This is obviously a big theoretical discussion, but here I was really amazed by this move. White played e4. You know, when I saw this move, I thought, oh my goodness, is this a novelty? Because I don't think I've seen it before. And I checked it. Yeah, people have started to play like this. It's very interesting. So for example, if black takes the pawn on e4, there's d5. Going for very hostile lines. So if black tries to punish white immediately by playing b5, you take it here. Now if you take it here, rook d1, and something like, oh, I'm sorry, not rook d1, I think it was take on f7, check intermezzo, of course. Now take on d1, b takes, and rook e1. So white wins back the piece with some positional benefits. So quite amazing. And b5 was played by Studer, and bishop d3 had been played before, and the smooth bishop e2, which was played by Gelfand. This is a new idea, absolute new idea. I slightly checked it before. It was first played in 2021 in one of the online Blitz tournaments. I think it was the Greek grandmaster Chalkias Stelios who played it, and then it was played in a very strong Benaske open tournament between one of the strongest Danish grandmasters against Nisipiano, Livio Dieter. So Nisipiano eventually went on to win the Benaske Open tournament, but this idea is new, to play bishop e2 and to play a4. So knight x on e4 was played. I think it's okay to take the pawn, and after a4, Studer decided to give it up. Just play bishop e7 right away. Now, I'm not sure why not b4, but I can only assume that being such a serious a player as Studer, who really pays attention to theory, he definitely had something in his mind here. I guess it's knight d2. Knight d2 takes, and black is seriously behind the development. So bishop e7 will be d takes on c5, and black is losing more time. So let's say black plays c takes on d4, rook c1. Now, this looks very dangerous from a strategical point of view. Yeah, so d3, bishop d3, the bishop on c8 is under attack. There's knight takes on d4 threat, and let's say something like bishop b7. This is already asking for some punishment. Maybe there's some ways to punish white right away. Something like knight e4, queen d4, and bishop f3. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, really. So the position opens, so there's a lot of tactical motives. So that's why after b5, knight e4, a4, Studer's idea was to give up the pawn. And this is what I mentioned a couple of times before. It's a very common strategy between grandmasters. They take the pawn with the idea not to hold on to it, but seek the right moment to give it back and get favorable position. So knight takes on b5 was played, short cast was played, bishop f4 was played, and here I slightly didn't understand why Studer didn't play bishop b7. Because it's quite obvious that he is experiencing some issues at a file. So I can only assume he didn't like something in the line of bishop b7 and some kind of a bishop takes on b8. That white wins a pawn, but I mean, you get decent compensation. Rook b8, b takes on bishop a8. Now this looks lovely for black. I mean, I don't know, this pawn on a6 is an extra pawn, of course, but this bishop, this rook is generating quite a lot of counterplay for black. So I think bishop b7 should have been played, and instead Noel played knight e7, and this is where his suffering started, because he cannot now easily get rid of the pin at a file. Now knight e5 was played with some bishop f3 ideas by Gelfand, knight e5, d takes on e5, and now this knight on e4 is in danger. Maybe some f3 or bishop f3 ideas, as it has no easy ways to run back to the safety. Queen b6, bishop d3, f5, queen e2. So white already is bothering not only the knight on e4, but also the pawn on a6. So Studer played c4, bishop c5, seeking some kind of a counterplay, but after knight e2, essentially he's simply down a pawn, and white has just a great position. So I'll just fast forward to the position which they have right now. Now Gelfand has two extra pawns already. Knight f2, seeking some ways to complicate the game. Take here, and this is the current position. I think so, at least. Let me double check it. Yeah, indeed, this is the current position. I think white is doing really excellent. So he just needs to solve the problem of the pin on f2. So I'm thinking maybe something like king f1. Can I do this? Maybe it's not a good move, but That's the first move which jumps to my attention, is to play rook f3. And if black plays right away here, now this should be a technically winning position, because white has 2 light pieces and the passed pawn, which should be superior to the rook. But maybe it's not really so simple, because after king f1, black is not going to take on f2 and play something like rook a6. So if the rooks are traded, there's some background issues here. And if something like rook e1, there might be maybe even this position, takes, and queen takes on b2. Yeah, so why this again should be so great for white, because now he has 2 light pieces for the rook, and black has also a pawn. So either way, I think Studer has managed to create some practical problems. So he definitely knew he's in trouble. So I like his approach, because the position already was bad. So he sacrificed the pawn, c4, positioned 1 bishop on c5, played rook a7, and was seeking some active counter chances, trying to complicate the game. Let me reload the board. I think rook e1 was played. Indeed, rook e1 was played, so the idea is to play bishop e3, forcing matters. So bishop takes on f2 has to be played. Queen takes on f2. I think black is going to avoid the queen trade. Yeah, because if you take the queens, it's already a converting phase. Queen a6 is the only move here. You avoid the queen trade, obviously, and then play something like h6. But this is strategically not very good. Whoa, rook a6? This I didn't expect. Maybe it's actually correct. Maybe I'm wrong. Studer's idea is to trade queens and then pressure this pawn, because if the pawn on b2 is lost, maybe it's not so bad. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I think I was wrong. My initial evaluation was wrong, and he's going to trade queens and then activate rooks as long as the pawn is not going to be pushed forward. Because let's say if somehow I'll just try to imagine a position. There's a difference. Let's say this kind of position, when black is very active. So if black manages to achieve something like this, he has some chances to save this game. Or there might be some kind of a position when white manages to play b4. And the bishop is protecting the passed pawn, and then the knight joins the action. So knight c4, knight e6. Now this is very close to lost. So it really is asking the question how and if white can reach this position. Maybe not right away, but I think this is definitely what Gelfand is thinking about. All right, let's switch maybe to Kamsky's game, because he had this amazing position. Let me just find him. That is Gata. Now, what just happened here? We left it. We left it when? When did we leave it? I think we left it here. So a d5 was played with the idea to push c4. Yeah, I mentioned this threat of c4. King d2, knight f6, rook f7, rook g6, and white decided to sacrifice an exchange. Yeah, because this incoming attack of rook g8, knight e4, rook g2, rook g3. It's too much. So white said, okay, I'm going to give up an exchange and try to build some kind of a fortress. So this is the position. Now, obviously, black is pushing. And Kamsky's idea was to play bishop h5. But now after queen e3, after bishop h5, white might want to play rook h1. Now, is this even possible? Rook h8, there's so many trades. So white should be winning, actually. Because black is only up an exchange for a pawn. It's the most minimal advantage there is. There's no less. I mean, it's less than a pawn. So if Gata wants to do something, I don't think it involves queen trade, but also he needs to be careful. Because if the white knight lands on e5, then white is just okay. I think white is just okay. Something like b3, knight c2, knight c1, knight e3, knight e5. Okay, there's obviously a million moves, but the knight on c3 is not doing anything on an e5, it's doing everything. I'm not sure if Gata played everything the strongest way, starting here, because it felt like almost crushing position. But then again, if you would ask me how to continue, I don't know. So what Gata did, knight f6, made sense, a lot of sense. Rook f7, rook g6. Now this sacrifice was a great practical idea by the young German. Takes, queen b6. Rook h6, yeah. I'm not sure if that it was really necessary to take on d4 right away, because it opens the e-file in some kind of a counterplay for white. So I think as long as black will manage to trade away the light square bishops, not to miss any active counter chances with queen e5, knight b5, I don't know, maybe position queen d6, find the right one to play bishop h5. He can always push this forever. Yeah, now Gata is thinking about this. I think he's already tired as well. Everybody is. So it's not only Gata who is tired, it's also his opponent, Vincent Kiemer, is Kirill Alexienko. When you get closer to the tournament after such a big, huge festival, there are signs of fatigue. And we could see them in the games. Yeah, and Vincent is in time trouble, but the position is quite easy to play. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't really strike a position where some immediate tactics will come through. So white can play moves like b3, a4, rook e1, rook e2, defend the pawn on g2, and not lose on the spot. They've played 31 moves, so Kiemer needs to make 9 moves. I think he's gonna do it. But it's quite unpleasant, I mean, to be in this situation, because a move might follow any move, any second. Yeah, Kamsky is unhappy about something. He's shaking the head. I'm not sure what he's unhappy. He should have all the reasons to be happy, because the game is proceeding exactly as he liked. Maybe he didn't like his last move, his decision to play c takes and bishop e8, but bishop d7? Where's the idea of this move? I don't understand. I think he is slightly regretting that he took on d4. Now, this is definitely something we could always ask in the post-game interview, because now white has some counterplay at e-file, but I think Kiemer's gonna play b3. Easy move, protect the pawn. b3 and then rook e1, knight e2, knight c1, knight e3. There's so many nice improving moves, and b3 is played, yeah. At least I think I saw it in the camera. I'm slightly surprised by Kamsky's choice. I just don't see the next move here. What is he going to do? Queen d6? And why was bishop d7 necessary? Really, I don't understand. The pawn on a3 is under attack. Maybe that was a provocation to allow his opponent to play b3. Wow, that might be very deep stuff indeed. Now rook h4, the knight e2 defends the pawn on f4. Maybe his idea is to play king b8. Rook h4, knight e2. And then play bishop e8. Well, maybe that was some kind of a very advanced waiting move. He just waited for his opponent to make this move b3, which creates some weaknesses, because that's a nice strategy. If you are done seeing exact plan how to crash through yourself, try to imagine yourself in your opponent's shoes. What he is gonna do, what he might play. So b3 knight e2 is what I would play, what apparently Winston would play, and this is what maybe was Gata thinking about, that he just needs to make some random quiet move, allow white in time trouble to play b3 so that he gets what he wants. I mean, maybe this is some very deep thought process. Otherwise, I just don't understand bishop d7. It just makes no sense in terms of the position, but there's a question in the chat why Kiemer has 1 minute against Kamsky's 23, because he has spent so much time before. And now he has only left less than 2 minutes. So there's extra 30 seconds per each move. And as soon as the players are going to reach move 40, they are going to get extra 50 minutes. Now, Gata is thinking about, I understand what he's thinking about here. Maybe he saw that also Alexienko is not winning. Let me maybe check it. Alexienko's game. I think there's the reason. There's the reason of indecisiveness of Gata. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is the game of Pichot against Alexienko. I don't see black winning this. So we left it at some point here. Yeah, knight d3. Bishop c2, knight b4, bishop f5, rook b8. Some trades were happening. Yeah, bishop b7, nice idea. So after the trade, obviously, rook b7 is not possible because this is a mate. And knight takes on a2 was played. So white can play moves like bishop f3 or rook d7 and rook a1. Only white has some ideas here. So maybe Gata saw this. And he decided to play it safe, not to rush. I think it was knight c4, still keeping the idea of the back rank mate. So the tournament standings, if you just joined me, I want to explain is that Gata Kamsky is leading the tournament. But he is in hot pursuit by Alexienko, as you can see on the screen. Both players are playing with black, and they need to win, because if Kamsky wins the game against Kiemer, that's it. He's winning the entire thing. If Kamsky makes a draw, it might not be enough if Alexienko wins his game. But I imagine he probably had a peek. What is happening in Alexienko's game? He thought there's no way that Pichot is gonna lose this game. So that's why maybe he started to play it slightly safe. Just play it safe. I mean, of course, always keep the option to play for the win, but I think it might have contributed to his decision. Also, not very far is Sarin Nikhal, but he's not really fighting for the first place overall because he has a worse tiebreak than Gatkamsky. Yeah, I don't see what is to see here. It's just the white is enjoying a slightly better position because he has the bishop. Black is in the situation where he needs to win. I think he played g6 to avoid any back rank mate issues. So the bishop is going to go away. I think this is just going to be a draw. It's just going to be a draw. Unless, of course, Pichot is going to get really ambitious. He can play, by the way, knight a5. And rook d7 is incoming. Maybe that was the entire idea of knight c4. Yeah, you saw the look in Alexienko's face, but there's sometimes as much as you can do, right? I mean, it's not so easy to play for the win with the black color against a very strong opponent if your opponent is not really going into huge complications. There's so much you can do. But of course, I think he's going to fight it out until then. In the meantime, as you see in the small screen, I deliberately left Kamsky's game. Yeah, he's just waiting, but as soon as Vincent is going to get the knight to e5, I think he's just fine. He's just fine. So whatever Kamsky lead he had before, it's gone. It's gone. So he still has some advantage, but as soon as the knight gets to e5, I really start to like white. But probably black is super solid position. The bishop on e8, rook h7, rook c7, that's it. Knight a5 indeed is played in the game of Pichot against Alexienko. Sarin's game against Lagarde looks rather uneventful. Sarin has a slightly better position. The pawn structure is better, but it's the opposite color bishops, which means probably there's going to be a draw, probably. So they got to this position. Maybe let me switch over to them. Yeah, they got to this position after... And indeed, Sarin took on b5 with the pawn. a4, b4, a3. That's nice. Which begs the question why the Indian didn't play bishop takes on a3. What is so bad about this move? So knight a4, take it, and I just need to make a move here. Something like bishop b2. Now this looks great actually for white. Rook takes on a2 and bishop d4. Why didn't he play it? So instead, Sarin took on c5. And they got this position. Takes. It was mass trades, bam, 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 bam. Everything was traded. But this position, of course, it's nice, but I'm not sure what to make of it, but I really like this position more. It's a free pawn to start with. Knight a4. Has to be knight f4, right? Maybe knight e4 was the idea by the Frenchman. Maybe, yeah, but maybe knight e4. Or maybe... No, it has to be this knight. And still bishop b2. Nothing changes. Nothing absolutely changes. You need to take the pawn. There's bishop d4. Yeah, I don't know what happened. And in Studer's game against Gelfand, they have this position. Oh, wait. A couple of moves made. But Studer is doing okay. I think he is doing a fantastic job so far. Defending this annoying position against his so much experienced colleague. So let me remind you, Boris Gelfand, he is a former World Championship challenger. He was playing a match for the championship title against Vichy Anand. And he was very, very close. So that was a very, very close match. He didn't beat Anand, but with some luck, who knows? And Studer is the only local Swiss player in the Grandmaster tournament. It's been rough for him. This is the second time when he makes the appearance in the Grandmaster Triathlon. First time it was last year. Yeah, this time I think he's slightly disappointed with the results, but still quite a valuable experience for the young Swiss player. So at least so far I like what he's doing here. He managed to build up some defenses, although I would love to play king f7, king g6, king h5, and g5, but white is just going to play h5. So white's idea is to run with the king here and start pushing the pawn. Maybe it's just not good. Now, I'm said in the chat that Gata is winning. Let me go back to Gata's game. Keemer blundered. Keemer blundered the pawn on a4. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So they played it here after bishop e8, queen f2, rook h7, rook d2 was a careless move by the German young star, and he simply blundered bishop takes on a4. So the idea is that after b takes, queen b4 check, this is an attack, so king c1. I guess it's some kind of a killing attack. I mean, I don't know. Queen a3 check. This looks killing. Maybe queen a4 even. All of white's pieces are somehow completely disconnected. And Keemer played something which I don't know. I think he played g3. Yeah. Yeah, when you blunder like that, you know it's over. I think Winston was doing a good defense, really good, until this moment. So I'm not sure why queen of 2 was necessary, why he didn't play... the pawn on f4 is under attack, so he cannot rearrange the knight to d3. So he wants to play knight c1, knight e3, and knight e5. Maybe he should have traded queens. But that's obviously a big decision, and you don't want to make such big decisions in time trouble. And let's say if black takes, d takes, and knight is gonna jump on d4. Now that's a lovely knight. Although it simplifies the position with the bishop h5. Takes, takes, and knight e4. But I think white should have decent chance to save the game here. This is a very powerful knight. Yeah, so instead he played queen f2, rook d2, with... not sure what's the idea, I guess... still prepare knight c1, knight d3, but he missed bishop a4. Again, let me try to find the forced win here. Queen b4 check, king c1. Where's the win? Where's the win? I don't see it. So let's say take. So that's a mate threat. Something like king b2. I don't see a win, by the way, right away. Maybe something like this, threatening with a mate. Knight g1 is the only move. Yeah, this should be killing. Yeah, this is killing. Some rook b6 is incoming. Maybe rook d3. And rook g1. Takes. Enemy. Yeah. So bishop a4 indeed was missed. And g3, bishop b5 is played. And the second time control has been reached. Yeah, it's a terrible moment to blunder. I mean, in time trouble, Winston just needs to make a couple of moves. But I mean, this bishop takes an a4. If we go back here, it's it's so easy to miss. I mean, such an unusual tactics, because it's not the queen b4 even the problem. It's the open h file. Because let's say the h file would be closed, the entire idea of queen, bishop takes an a4 and queen b4 is just not working. The king c1, king d1 escapes. But the fact that also the h file is open, this was very unfortunate for Kiemer. Yeah, he knows it. He knows it, of course. But still, I don't like what Gata was doing before, so definitely this is something we can ask in an interview, why he played this strange bishop e8, then bishop d7, suddenly went back. Was the game of Alexienko influencing his decision? So this is quite curious. I'm also curious as a player to understand why Kamsky played what he played. So this game might be played for a long time. So this is the last round. Why do you resign here, right? That's it. There's no need to save your energy. You can still fight it. Although probably, objectively, now it's lost. Exchange is all that matters, and what makes it even worse for white is that the knight is not going to make e5 anymore, because the bishop on b5 is going to trade it as soon as it lands on d3. Maybe we can follow the game of Gelfand against Studer. I'm being told that it's also with a lot of events. And yeah, this looks completely winning for white. Wait, how did this happen? h5 was played and he took on f4. Yeah, but so that was not a blunder by, it was not a blunder by Boris. It was intentional. He allowed this take on f4. By the way, I missed it myself. And take on d2. All that matters is the b pawn. Yeah, b4, b5, king f2. Now this king is running here. So g5, king g7, takes, something like king d4. h5 is not going anywhere, so king h5 has to be tried. King c5, king g4. Now, but this should be it. Something like king c6, push it away. Maybe there's even time for some quiet moves like rook b4. I'm not sure if that's even necessary. h5, b6, h4, b7, h3. Oh, I managed to misplay it. The bar says I managed to misplay it. Okay, apparently it's not so simple. Okay, so maybe rook b4 is just ridiculous. Just don't be greedy. Just push it forward. King c6, b6. King goes here. b7. Although there might be some chances. And again, I managed to misplay it. Okay, I mean, maybe it's not really so simple, because I tried to prove my brilliant point with making some random moves, but it's not really so simple. But okay, I mean, it should be winning. So king d4, king h5, a king c5 has to be played, king g4, and maybe here you need to be precise. Yeah, maybe here. So white still needs to make good two moves. I don't think Gelfand is gonna mess it up. Now the question is, what is the easiest win here? Maybe king c6? Maybe king c7? And b6? How easy is this? And some king d6 maybe. Oh, wait, by the way, that makes perfect sense. Keep the pawn on e5 alive. So h5, b7, rook b8, and king e6. h4, king d6, h3, e6, h2, king c7. Shake hands. Yeah, I think Gelfand is gonna find this, and you know, maybe this would be possible to misplay it in time trouble, because I managed to misplay it twice. But Gelfand just needs to make two moves here. Just two moves. And they're easy moves. So king d4, again, king h5, king c5, those are easy moves. King c6 is an easy move. King c7 is king c7 is an easy move. Just push away the rook. And then you can work out on the details with the extra 50 minutes on the clock. Gelfand is winning this. I don't think we're going to see any surprises here, so that is a disappointing finish for Studer. Let me check any other game I might miss in a time trouble. Maybe Alexienko's game. They're still playing it out, obviously. I just don't want to miss any action before the start of the second time control, because the first time control is approaching to finish. A Neiksans game I can put on the small screen. So there's a request, but a white has a pawn, but it has a drawish tendency. I already mentioned this. I think Neiksans is gonna play this game for 5 hours more. Okay, I mean, I don't think it's theoretically possible. So they started it 4 hours ago. Okay, maybe 3 hours. It's a position which you can play forever, if the players are gonna have some stamina left, obviously. So on the small screen, that is Sarin's game against Lagarde. There's a question where can you find the open tournament boards? I think you're gonna have a look at the Biel's official website. I'm posting an automated command in my Twitch channel. Automatically it should generate the link. Yeah, I want to remind that this stream is organized thanks to the organizers of the Biel Chess Festival, and it's being relayed to 3 channels at the same time. It's my Twitch channel, it's Biel's YouTube channel, so if you are so kind, please give them a follow. They're a really amazing channel, and with a lot of interesting videos. And also I make for them the daily recaps, which you can also check. There's a separate playlist for that. And the third site is Biel's Facebook page. Yeah. But I think that Pichot is pushing this for the win, and this might give some chances for Alexienko. So Pichot is not in the peaceful mood here. And actually, as odd as it sounds, this is what Alexienko wants. Because this might force White to make some decisions he could regret later. I think I also saw a question before. I apologize if I didn't answer. If I'll be doing streaming the Riga Technical University Open. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. So that is gonna happen This next tournament starts next week, so I'm gonna do a commentary for them as well because I live here. I mean, I have to do it, right? It's quite understandable. All right, f4, 97. f4 idea was to play 95 next. Gelfand has played king g3. It might be a Zugzwang actually, king g3, because I remember the endgame. Yeah, that's a great move. You can always go to the you can always go to the queen side. That's a great move what Gelfand played. I like it. But probably he's gonna go back because I don't see any progress after king g3. Even if you get king h4, king h5, now that is completely winning. Yeah. So let's just follow this game because this is still the first time control. Four moves. Four moves need to be played by both players. And in the Saren's game, also four moves. But it's such a peaceful position that, as you see on the small screen, so easy to make the moves. Rook c2 played by Saren. Wait. What about bishop a5? Did you blunder that? Bishop a5 trades the rooks, doesn't it? And that's a draw. Am I missing something here? Am I missing something here? Bishop a5 trades the rooks, and that's a draw. I don't think Nikal had to do this because there's no rook d2. And bishop c4 is d5. It's just a draw. I think he had to try something else, something like e4. Keep the rooks alive because maybe it's indeed a draw, but f5. No, I think black had to play bishop a5. I mean, this looks very easy draw to me. Maybe I'm mistaken. Probably I'm mistaken. But the point is, now the king side should be easily holding. The 4 versus 3 are never going to crash through. Although this bishop on a5 is sort of stuck, but the king is never going to get any progress here. Even without the c pawn, I have a suspicion this is a draw. And after bishop a5, bishop c4, there's d5. You just trade the rooks. Yeah, and that's it. This should be a totally draw. Quite strange decision by the Frenchman, but okay. Maybe he... Now, there's no way he's playing this for the win, right? I mean, without the pawn. So, white should avoid the bishop trade. Maybe e4. Yeah, no, wait, what? f4 is played. And bishop a5 again is a draw. Yeah, must be tiredness of both players. So let's follow this game slightly. There's going to be an interview with a player. Hello, Angelica. Hello. How did I finish? Draw? So we are gonna conduct our interview with Gukesh, who played a draw against Kartikeyan Barali in the MTO tournament. And it's gonna start in a moment.
It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Are we ready? So the first board, the top board of Masters tournament of the last round, just finished in a draw. Grandmaster Gukesh and Grandmaster Kartikeyan Murali from India, both players just played draw. Yeah, you had an interesting game. Maybe you would share with us some ideas. How did it went for? How did it go for you? Maybe some of you had some chances.
Yeah, around here, I think the bishop before was not the right move. Yeah. But I vaguely remember b4 in my mind, so I mixed up my moves and played bishop before. Maybe just rook b8 or bishop e7 is not good here.
Yeah, I think bishop e7.
Yeah, bishop e7. Yeah. I don't know what I mixed up. I just played b4. Maybe bishop e7. I think he can't even play queen c2. Just knight d4 is there, because after b4 queen c2 I can't play knight d4 take, and queen a4 is also gone. Yeah, so after b4 I think I was already slightly bad for me, I think. But I mean, if you ask Injan, it will show maybe equal, but for me it was like not easy to play this after playing bishop b4.
Yeah, so castle.
Yeah, so castle, rook d1 player. I think bishop e7. Maybe this was not needed. Maybe I should play rook b8 first.
Yeah, rook b8. I still wanted to play bishop b8.
Rook b8. If you play bishop g5, I was thinking
b5. I have d5.
Yeah, I think already it's pretty much worse for black. Yeah, so I think bishop e7 is fine. Maybe, but
Bishop g5, knight d5.
Yeah, maybe knight e5 was better. Yeah, I was thinking knight e5. Or maybe even knight b4 at some point. Yeah, but knight e5 is, I think, at least gives some counterplay for black at least, I think.
Yeah, bishop e7, queen e7,
Yeah,
e4.
bishop e7, queen e7. Bishop e7, queen e7, e4.
Maybe knight c b4 and take knight
Yeah.
d3.
But I was not sure. Maybe knight b4.
Queen d3.
Yeah. Knight c3, bc3. Yeah, maybe this is around equal. Maybe, yeah, maybe rook b8 was not the correct move. Yeah. So rook b8. After this, I think he got a clear edge. After this, knight e4, b5, b3. Yeah, I think here it's.
I thought your point was bishop d4.
No, bishop d4 was not working because.
Yeah, it was not working, but it was like complicated.
I thought even bc4 is better. Yeah. So rook b8. After this, I think he got a clear edge. After this, knight e4, b5, b3. Yeah, I think here it's.
I thought your point was bishop d4.
No, bishop d4 was not working because.
Yeah, it was not working, but it was like complicated.
I thought even bc4 is better for white.
Yeah.
f5. But like this, I couldn't believe. Like maybe I thought even rook a7 or rook a b1.
Yeah, that's what I
something
thought.
like that. Yeah.
I thought e5 was
cb5, f4. Yeah, it's getting complicated. Yeah.
I saw something, but I don't remember.
I'm probably just tenacious, but I thought my position's not that poor, so like, I don't want to go gamble everything. Yeah. So that's why I play knight b4 here. Okay, queen d2. Yeah, knight assist was there, but I think queen d2 was the I felt queen it was a correct way to win the game. No, not exchanging this strong knight for now.
Maybe knight f6, queen f6.
I don't know. Like knight f6 showing GS, but queen f6 was the main issue here. With queen d2, I was thinking something like c5
Yeah,
also
c5.
here. Yeah.
That's what I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's something, but
DC
during the
five,
game, it was not so clear. C5 takes and C3. We have to do something. Maybe you have to allow this pawn to stay there and do something there. But I don't know. It's not so easy. So that's why I think queen e2 is the right move. Maybe showing bishop e7, but I was not sure. Bishop e7
just
takes
take
and
rook
rook c1. Yeah.
I thought
That is
this
to
was
continue.
better.
Yeah.
Like bishop e7, knight e5.
Yeah, I mean bishop e7, knight e5, and yeah, that's okay. Maybe there's something there. Bishop e7, knight e5, and
F5.
something like f5. Yeah. That's too risky. But maybe it should have been played.
Yeah, maybe this was.
Yeah. But I felt playing f5 is not so clear, correct here. But I think this is my last chance. Maybe. After knight e5, I think it's pretty much like we got clear pleasant position. Okay, see. Yeah. Maybe I should play something like bishop e7, but already it's pretty bad. Even knight e5 is coming. And it's already bad for black. So that's why I had to play c. I thought I will play c5 here.
Yeah.
That's why.
I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure this also works, but I couldn't find out how it is getting that advantage here. I was
Yeah, I
thinking
thought like
something
knight c5 was only move.
Yeah, I was thinking like knight f6 and dc5. Something like c3.
Queen e.
But here I don't know. Maybe queen e1 or queen d4, both moves were there.
Computer was showing queen e1.
Yeah, but
But I don't.
yeah, so c3 and queen e1. So yeah, I was thinking this. Queen e1, rook b2. But okay, this is my last chance.
I don't
and knight
think
c7.
this is-
Yeah, this I was thinking like this. No, I think maybe c2 first and knight c7. That's what I was thinking.
c2, rook d4, knight c7.
Yeah, c2, rook d4, knight c7. Yeah, but maybe it's still clearly better for white. Maybe this pawn is not so dangerous. But I thought like, okay, this is my chance. Otherwise you will just play knight e5, maybe rook c2, rook c1, double up, and the c pawn is like forever backward. So I thought I have to do c5 here. So what he played was fine, I think. Queen e1, rook b2. Okay, a3, c2. I think rook d3 was not bad. During the game I was thinking rook d2 here actually. I was a little bit worried about this.
Yeah, queen f5, knight d3.
Yeah, queen a5 and knight d3 here. And not so comfortable for me.
Maybe rook b.
Yeah, something like rook b8. I thought maybe rook b8. I thought e4 here. I have to go to if I go to c4, then we will take c2.
Maybe I can play rook a to rook c2, queen e1.
Rook a2, rook c2, queen e1. I think I will just take knight e1. And you
Take rook c2.
Yeah, but this is another game. Like you just play and you are a pawn up here. Maybe this is not so bad, but maybe this playable. Maybe I have to play bishop e7 back here. But during the game, I felt this is clearly better for white.
Pawn up.
Like, yeah,
And you have two bishops, but still
yeah,
it's
but
not
still,
so easy.
I don't have a pawn. Yeah, so maybe what he played was fine. Maybe I think that's also fine. Bishop e7, queen e2, and bishop d7. I think I have to do bishop d7. I was not sure about knight d7. I thought he could have kept the knight there.
But rook c2, like, take and bishop b5.
Yeah, that's what takes, and bishop b5. And then like go back queen a5. This is what I was planning. Yeah, but
Yeah, this looked like a lot of rook there.
but for me it looked like maybe not so clear, but not so easy to judge like whether to allow this or not. I understood like this is very simple, right? You just take the dangerous bishop and just take the pawn. So this is fine, but the point is like the a3 pawn is also weak. So like I don't know how to go. how
maybe,
it consolidates.
maybe bishop f1 was.
Yeah, maybe bishop of 1. Maybe here, queen d1, queen b5, and bishop of 1.
Yeah,
Yeah. This was, I think, better for white.
But
Take
still, black
queen
pieces
b-
are pretty active, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I will play queen b2. Maybe. I don't know whether to take and play queen b2 or directly play. Maybe it doesn't make much difference.
Maybe you can just take and play queen.
Yeah, maybe it takes and play queen b2. Yeah, I was planning this. Yeah, queen c6, bishop a3, take here, and bishop f5. This is what I was planning.
Yeah,
I'm a pawn.
this bishop is.
Yeah, I have I'm a pawn down, but okay, at least I have this opposite color bishop, so I thought, okay, I must have some chance to make a draw here. Yeah, I mean, objectively it was, but okay, I have to play this. I didn't have any choice here. Okay, I was not sure about knight d2. Okay, knight d2 is still good though, queen d2, and here I was not sure about this exchange because I felt that I'm getting more chances for draw after exchanging the queens. I was a little bit worried about queen c4 or queen c6, mainly about queen c4 though here. Because queen c6 it allowed some rook b6 somewhere, so I felt queen c4 the queen is well placed here.
Something like queen a1.
Yeah, queen a1, bishop of 4.
a5.
Okay, maybe even e4 is possible. Maybe once you disturb the coordination, I think black is even lost.
Yeah, e4, queen c7.
and queen c7.
Yeah.
Queen c7 are planning this. Take. Maybe queen d5 or even queen a6 is fine, I think. Something like this, b4 and queen a7. This was very annoying. Maybe black has something, but during the game it was not so clear because like if he consolidates, then the pawn is very weak. So I had to do something, but I couldn't find anything.
Maybe like something, you can do something like take queen behind king g to h5.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I have to do something like that. Yeah, of course you are a pawn up, right? Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was playing. Like, if you play this, I thought I will exchange the knight and then play queen versus rook. I mean, queen rook versus queen rook. Yeah, so,
Yeah, this should have been.
yeah. So after queen b2, I felt okay. At least now I am out of danger. At least.
Bishop f3 was also not very.
Yeah, bishop f3 was also not needed. I think. It was also
Just
very
e3.
Yeah, e3 or
Still knight b6.
yeah, but I think you have to play that like e3, knight b6. But I felt this is a move. This is a waste of time. Bishop of 3. Maybe black is still surviving, but okay, white still has chances here. So bishop
I
of
thought I had a lot of time, but like all the threads are.
yeah. So bishop of 3, knight b6, grounding knight c4, and after knight e4, yeah, after f5, I felt like I felt like it's close to draw because here you can't play knight c5 because of e5.
Yeah, I missed this.
After e5, I think even black is playing for me. So that's why I was not sure about knight c3 though. Yet I was a little bit worried about this. Takes d5 and
Can you go e5?
e5 I was not sure. e5, d6,
e4?
e4, d7. No.
No, knight.
No, e4. I think first knight e4. How it came.
No, that should be a draw. Bishop
Yeah. Maybe it's a draw.
e5. E5 I can go e4 or no, bishop c4.
Yeah, maybe this is even a clear draw. Maybe, yeah. If I saw some d7 and knight e4 somewhere. Yeah, maybe I'm. Yeah, sort of.
Maybe I. No.
Yeah, anyway, yeah. So I felt it should be around equal here after maybe taking up some. Now my threat is to play rook a2 because in the previous line if you play rook a2 here there's rook b3 takes and rook b6 this attempt, so that's why I played king of 7 here and he played e3. Again I can't do the same because at last a6 is happening, so that's why I played a5 here and
I couldn't say anything.
yeah. I felt instead of e3 at least you could have tried e4 here itself.
Yeah, I realized it after.
Yeah, but okay. I felt it should be draw. So, yeah, the problem was I play here. I play here and I think I take.
B6 F8.
If I take, I think bishop g4 was there. Yeah. So I had to take something like this. Takes and rook a6. But
But
yeah,
this
I
should be
have
a
this
draw.
target. Yeah, so I think this should be draw eventually because of this f2 target. So I can generate some counterplay because of this weak f2 pawn. So anyway, after e3, I think it's almost close to equal. I thought the last try was bishop d1. Yeah,
A4?
bishop d1 f4. Yeah, just picking f1, but it was very scary.
But rook A2.
Rook a2 knight b1. No, but playing with white is also very scary because once if you lose this pawn, then even black is better. So, yeah, but e4.
Yeah, after rook A2, I'm just
I
trying
think
not to
it's-
lose.
It was already equal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So with this draw, Kartikeyan, you are now in the tie for the first place, not clear with Salih Salem, and Gukesh, you're in tie for third place. So pretty good performance for you in this tournament. Are you satisfied with it?
Yeah, maybe in the previous round I missed a win, but okay, anyway, overall I'm very satisfied.
And you?
Not really at this
This
point.
game, yes.
Yeah. But okay, I played some decent games.
Thank you so much for analysis, and I hope you had a great time in Biel and you had a very nice tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're having Boris now. Yes.
Congratulations. Good result. Okay.
Sorry, Boris, yes. I will start
Yeah.
1 second.
But he was very well prepared. He played a4, yeah, definitely a4, bishop e7, castle, and many options for it, but it starts with bishop e4. Maybe knight d7, I don't think it's a good move.
So at this point you also spend quite a lot of time.
Yes,
on
yes,
bishop
it's a new
f4.
position, and okay, I have to play very precise to put any problem, because if he develop, okay, he has very good pawn structure. So I play with g2. Knight d7, I don't think it's a good move. I was expecting cd or bishop d6 maybe. Yeah, something like this. Or bishop d6, also interesting move. But he played knight d7. And after knight e5, I think I'm better. Takes queen b6.
Yeah, and here was a question. Also, there was possibility to play bishop f3,
But bishop b7,
queen e1, because on queen e2 there is
queen e1, f5.
takes.
Ah, take, No, take on b7, take on e6. Yeah, didn't notice it.
Bishop
Yeah.
f3.
Didn't notice it. Why not queen e2?
Because of queen f5.
Ah, queen b5, yeah. Queen e1, nice tactic, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
but-
tactic.
Yeah, not so easy also.
f5 takes. Knight f6 and take on b7
Yes.
and on e6, yeah? No.
The problem is, yeah,
Ah.
the e6 pawn is
Yeah,
hanging.
and rook takes anyway, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Was strong? I don't know. I
But
played
bishop d3 is also, of course.
f5, queen e2. I don't know, maybe rook d8 here was interesting. But he played c4 interesting move to sacrifice knight 2, bishop c5. I don't know, many options for me. I decided to play knight d2. Knight c3 I could play, but he takes on c3 and a5. And I know, takes bishop
The
c5.
second.
Knight c3 I saw I can play, but I thought he will take, play a5. And I don't know, I'm much better, but I was not sure. a5.
Oh, e5.
Yeah, but okay, maybe rook a4, maybe it's winning. But here, yeah, he found nice idea, rook a7. And it's more or less forced, he sacrifices two pieces for a rook. And okay, not so easy, maybe he has good compensation. But I took.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rook, I have to play rook e1 because knight c4, rook a6. Rook e1. Tuk, 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 tuk. Rook b1.
Exchanges. You want
Okay,
that?
if I'll consolidate, I'll win. But he defended for the moment well.
Yes.
But I'm not sure if somewhere I managed to trick him. Because this idea to transpose to rook endgame.
Yes, your
Rook and-
favorite.
Yeah, but rook endgame I believe have to be won. King f2 was also possible, but I see nothing wrong with h5.
Yeah, yeah. Also the
On structure, tuk tuk, rook d2 before.
yeah, and this is
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
winning.
No, but here winning, yeah, I could also run with a king, but I saw this idea to get with a king, yeah, yeah.
G5.
King d3 was a stupid move, I could go to g3 immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
then
blessed, but
play
nothing
back.
wrong, yeah, king f3.
Yeah, back to G3 and
Yeah, yeah. And,
here he has no other.
No, I go to h4. If he goes to
If he goes to H5, then
h5 doesn't matter. I go here. I have a lot of waiting moves here, here. Okay, he could wait, let's say here, but then I play rook c5. Takes and also
yes.
king g6. Or maybe
So
king
you're
h6.
getting all the pawns and
No, it's actually funny because I think, okay, I'm not sure, but okay, I thought the worst case scenario. I will, okay, win by this, yeah, takes, and king f6 and pawn. You know, without a pawn it will be a draw, but pawn blocks the
yeah, blocks
checks.
the checks from the rook.
It's
yeah,
very
that's
instructive moment.
very nice. Yes. And okay, at the end,
Yeah,
it
but
was
now,
already
but now rook d1 is a key idea, and
yes, and
yeah.
very instructive. How do you evaluate your performance at this tournament overall?
I don't know, some really horrible days, but
Yeah.
also some good games. Nice, it was really good, yeah, to be back in Biel, yeah. Of course, I hope to do better, but some days really went horrible for me, like the day of Rapid
Yeah.
and the second half of Blitz and first round, yeah, really went well. But okay, some games were really good, yeah.
But you showed us some very nice games and very nice ideas and
Yeah.
very constructive, especially the rook end games.
Yes, really rook ended, but yesterday maybe I could save rook ended.
Yeah.
I thought it's a draw, but maybe
We also
I have
hoped
to
you could save it. But
have to analyze.
thank you so much for
Thank you.
being here.
Thank you.
It was great to have you here in your games.
Thank you,
Amazing.
hope to see you again.
Thank you.
So let me go back to, is there going to be a next interview coming in a moment? So we're back with the commentary. We're supposed also to have an interview with Kirill Alexeyev against Argentine #1 Grandmaster Alain Pichot, but I got the word that they already left. Sorry about that. There was a queue forming in the interviews because everybody finished at the same time. And so a couple of big results were coming in as soon as Kartigyan's interview with Gukesh was being done. Yeah, I apologize about the sound. Like, I think that was me this time. So we had some issues with the performance, and I tried to combine together two different sources, and I think I connected them wrongly. But okay, at least you heard them and saw them, so I fixed that for the next interview. So yeah. So we have 2 games still going, so maybe let's quickly have a peek of Kamsky's game, because that is the most important game here, because this is essential where the winner of the tournament might emerge and probably will emerge. This is the possession. That's it. There's nothing to do here. Yeah, this game is over. This game is over. Maybe we have just switched at the right moment for the resignation. How did I get here? Yeah, there was this pawn loss on a4, which made white suffer. Rook a1. Yeah, this is just a killing attack. Just a killing attack. Sooner or later, black crushes through. So last check, queen e5, king a8, and I expect king a7. Okay, I expect the clocks to be stopped. So as soon as that happens, I think we can already congratulate Gata Kamsky for scoring a well-deserved victory in the tournament, because he finished with 2.5 points out of 3. I mean, he had a mediocre, so to speak, blitz event. He won the rapid tournament, and if my calculation is correct, I think he won the classical event as well, having scored so many wins. I have to check on that. He resigned, so congratulations to Gata Kamsky for winning the 54th International Biel Chess Festival, the Grandmaster Triathlon. The 5 times United States champion, proved to be clearly the best player here in the field. So today he played a very nice game with the black color. Also, of course, some factor was contributed that, for example, Kiemer was blundering, but Kamsky created these problems to his opponents and they were unable to solve them. So what does it mean for the current results? Let me maybe show you the pairings and update the results. Yeah, Gata's game against Winston Kiemer is still not yet updated. It will be shortly, but for the overall rankings, I think we should be able to get it. No, it's not yet. Okay, it's not yet updated. I guess we're gonna get there. It's Kamsky with 35 points, who wins the tournament. It's not Kirill Alexienko, because Alexienko finished his game with a draw. Kamsky confidently, with a huge lead, wins the tournament and wins the 54th International Biel Chess Festival, the Grandmaster Tournament. So congratulations also from me. Let me maybe reload it once more, because usually there they are, there are the results. So Kamsky is in the first place, Alexienko is going to be in the second place, and even if just a second, even if Sarin wins it, even if Sarin wins the final game, I don't think he can climb higher than the 3rd place. Yeah, I think he's going to stay in the 3rd place, because Boris Gelfand already finished his game, so Boris is going to stay in the 4th place. Sarin, no matter how he finishes, he is in the 3rd place, because even if he wins it, he's going to share the 2nd place with Kirill Alexienko, but he is getting the 3rd place because Alexienko's tiebreak is simply better. He won the Chess 960 tournament, so that's it. Kamsky wins the tournament, Alexienko is going to be 2nd, and Michal Sarin, who is still playing, is going to be in the 3rd place. But the festival still continues. Not all of the games have finished, and in the Grandmaster tournament, we still have one more game, which is Sarin Michal against Maxime Lagarde. Let me maybe try to find their board, which is just a second. Give me a second. Okay, here it is. That's Maxime Lagarde. He's still fighting here in the overall rankings. In the overall rankings, I guess he's fighting for 24.5. If he draws, he can overtake Boris Gelfand. Yeah, so again, maybe let's go to the overall rankings. As you see, The only game left is Sarin against Lagarde. For Sarin, it doesn't matter. For Sarin, it doesn't matter, but for Lagarde, it does matter. Because if he makes a draw, that would allow him to get 26 points. And if my memory is correct, his tiebreak is better than Gelfand's. So he would take the 4th place. So that's why, of course, not only because of that, but he's going to try to fight it out. But the position is slightly unpleasant. So I don't really understand why he didn't trade the rooks when he had the chance. So both here, I think bishop a5 was a nice idea to provoke the rook trade, because the bishop on d5 is under attack. The same applies here again. Bishop a5 was a playable move, and it didn't happen for whatever reason. And now, of course, white just declined the rook trade, and now there's some rook e6 threats incoming. So rook e1 is probably going to be played, but rook c2, of course, white is going to decline the rook trade. About the classical tournament standings, this is something I have not prepared, but I might check it very closely after the final game is going to be finished, because I'm getting word that Gelfand is in 2nd place in the classical chess. I didn't check it really, because I was only paying attention to overall standings. There's different scores for every tournament. Again, every victory in the classical tournament is 4 points. Every draw is 1.5 points. In rapid tournament, it was 2 points for the victory, 1 point for a draw. And on Blitz, it's as usual 1 point for the victory and half a point for a draw. Really interesting format. I like it. I adore it. Absolutely. Now, while this game is still proceeding and it might continue for a while, I suggest to have a look at what is happening in the MTO, this big, strong Masters tournament, which is being played in parallel. And you saw the 2 top players from the Open tournament, which was Domarayu Gukesh against Kartikeyan Murali. They were giving this interview, although with the heavy sound lag, which was my mistake, so I apologize about that. So they explained their concepts and their way of thinking in the game. It finished in a draw, but also Salem Saleh managed to beat Pavel Elyanov, so maybe we can check that game. All right. So this is Gukesh's game against Kartikeyan. Now, it was a very sharp game between the top 2 seeds, Salem Saleh against Pavel Elyanov. d4, c4, some Nimzo Indian with early a3. And I found it to be quite interesting that this king f2 is a very modern idea. It's a very modern idea, and I know this how because I have written a chessable course for a complete repertoire for black c4, e5. And there's some lines where king f2 is recommended actually. So white sacrifices the pawn on c3 and pushes or c4, g4, h4, g5, h5. And when I saw this game, I thought, wait, I've seen this before because I've seen it in my course, although this is completely a different variation. So let me show you what happened here. Short castle, knight e2, queen c7, and black decided to go after the pawn on c4. But now white advanced at the king side, sacrificing the pawn on c4, h5, bishop c4, g5, and knight e7. So really sharp game. So black has an extra pawn, but black has the extra pawn, but white has the initiative at the king side. So a big attack is incoming. Bishop b3 was played, queen e2, c takes, queen c4. All of this makes sense. And now at some point suddenly white switched his attention to the queen side. So black probably thought that trading queens should favor him. As a matter of fact, is not so simple, because now white is very active. Bishop c4, bishop f4, the pawn on d6 is a weakness. Take. And white is very active. Yeah, it's quite a unique position, because from afar I also thought that black should be doing fine. but the evaluation bar just loves white. So knight b8 was played, knight c3, white played for a complete domination. So g6, there will be knight e4, knight f6, bishop e5, bishop d6. So white is simply storming forward with everything he has got. Another great pawn sacrifice. Now check this out, d5. Get the f5 square for the bishop. Knight b5, so literally all of white's pieces are joining the attack. I mean, it's the bishop, it's the rooks, it's the knight, and the bishop on b3 is disconnected, the knight on a5 is disconnected. What a powerful game by Salem Saleh. So d4 was played, knight x on d4. Now knight x on d4 is going to be bishop e5. Takes. And the bishop lands on the long diagonal. Wow. Now this was such a powerful show. Yeah, rook takes on h7 would simply dominate the position. Just destroyed black. So what a powerful display by Salem Saleh, who now shares the first place together with Kartikeyan Murali. They have both 7 points out of 9. Who got the better tie break? I don't know. I think it's some kind of improved Buchholz. So unlike the Grandmaster Triathlon, whose tiebreak is the Chess 960 tournament of the same 8 players, in the Masters tournament, it's some kind of a Buchholz. I think it's improved Buchholz. So, yeah, one of the most popular tiebreaks in the chess tournaments. I think it's quite objective, really. But there's always the discussion which tiebreak is more objective than the other, which is more fair. So I assume in the end it might be Kartikeyan because he was slightly leading on tiebreaks, but I guess we'll see. So really tough tournament. And there's also another game still proceeding. It's Situ Rahman playing against Viktor Erdos. Both of them had an excellent tournament. And so it was really a topical line in the opening. I recognize this line. So after bishop e5, a6, bishop a4, b5, bishop c5, c3, d4, a5. You know, those of you who are closely following the FIDE World Cup, you probably remember the game of young Krzysztof Duda against Vidit Santos Gujarati. And this is one of the lines, so this is a very, very topical line, which is tested at the highest level. I'll tell you honestly, I know nothing about this line. So I know that this is a very modern approach, this a5. And here, bishop e3. Now, knight e4 typically allows white to play bishop d5, trapping one of the knights. So knight e4, bishop d5. Yeah, this is the way they play it. And there, at some point, black has queen e8, defend both knights. So bishop c6, bishop e4. This is some kind of a crazy home preparation. Black gets how many pawns? 3 pawns for the sacrifice piece, and the game is super sharp. Super sharp. So I don't know really what to make of this position. This is normally a kind of position you want to work at home. Queen f3, rook e4. Wow. Queen e4, bishop b7. A really, really nice game so far. Knight e2, d5. Bishop d5. Yeah, I'm just a spectator here. I don't understand what is happening in this game. Okay, this position I can finally evaluate. White has an exchange for a pawn, so should be better. And if white manages to trade rooks, this should give white excellent chances to win the game, because the rook should be more powerful than the static bishop. But of course, black is not going to trade rooks. Yeah, king e6, check, check. Wait. Was there a truffled repetition? Because we already had a story like this. 1, 2. Okay, there was no truffled repetition. But it might be not really easy for white to crash through. I guess something like h4 has to be tried. h4, oh wait, h4, I thought I'm taking it. Okay, I just hallucinated it. Yeah, of course white wants to trade the rooks, but the rook on g1 is not simply moving. And I see no points of penetration for white. So black can just play bishop a7, bishop a3, bishop a7, bishop e3, king e3, take it here, maybe go back, and then the bishop goes back. Some kind of a Zugzwang, but maybe something like this, and something like a 4. But then again, so many pawns white has given up, and black at some point even can start to play this for the win. Because it's a really minimal material advantage. I mean, I don't know. What was happening before? That was a huge mess. Probably if I would spend something like 20 minutes trying to understand what happened here, I would probably be able to explain it. This was still theory, I think. Some deep preparation. And then after knight c6, rook e4, bishop b7. Yeah, it's a huge mess. Still, all of this looks quite normal to me. White made normal moves, black made the normal moves. So objectively, if both players are playing really great chess, it's a draw, right? So that's how chess works. If none of the players make mistakes, they both play good chess, it's a draw. It's a draw. Wait. I might have missed an interview. Yeah, so this game is still continuing. There was an interview, we missed it. Yeah, sorry about that. For some reason we missed it. Yeah, so the interview which was missed, it's gonna be available on YouTube. Yeah, so sorry about that. I guess I'll have to keep my earphone plugged in at all times so that I don't miss anything. Yeah, let's check other games. Tamas Banush has beaten Raunak Sadhwani, yet another Indian talent. I was following this game at the start, and it appeared to be that it was about equal position. After bishop d4, bishop f5, e3, rook e8, and knight h4, and here Sadhwani made maybe not the best choice. He decided to play e5, take, and probably from afar he evaluated that this position should be drawish, because there's the opposite color bishops, the pawn on c3 is under attack. However, after rook b1, rook b5, white took the pawn on e5, threaded it for c3, and in addition, black has got weakness on e4. White took the pawn and went on to convert the game. So of course, again, white is not interested to trade rooks, and he can and should go for the mate, and this is exactly what happened. Yeah, very nice. King g6, rook d8 is a mate on the board, so quite a nice, instructive game by the Hungarian Grandmaster. There's also the game being played Arjun Erigaisi against Maxim Chigaev. Oh! Okay, I think Erigaisi should be able to win this, because this is a very thematic knight and bishop. How many moves have they already played it? Not so many, right? Not so many, so 69. Yeah, this is a very famous position. All you essentially need to know is the W principle. And I think Chigaev is simply gonna test his opponent if he knows it. I think he knows it. It's one of the basic checkmates. I mean, you cannot be a grandmaster if you don't know it. There's another Arjun Kalyan playing against Ganguly, Surya Shekhar Ganguly. And Ganguly is completely winning. Yeah, so it's 2 extra pawns. Bishop e5, king e6, king e5 is winning, so Ganguly is gonna win. Unfortunately, I don't have the video to show for you. So I guess we should just wait, I can still show you the overall standings of the Masters tournament. About this statistic, I wanted also to mention it before, is that yesterday I was showing you some very nice statistics, how Alexienko has spent most of the time at the board. And this was after round 5. Now here's an updated statistics after round 6. Now Alexienko still has spent most time at the board with 33 hours in 6 games. It's quite incredible, to be honest. And the Gata Kamsky, the winner of the tournament, is in the last place among the players who have spent the time on the board. So I find it to be quite funny, actually. So there's something here. There's something here. All right. I think I just want to show the results of the Masters tournament. You should be able to see it. So the round 9 results are as follows. As you see, Domarayo Gukesh made a draw against Kartikeya Morali. You saw them in the interview. Salem Saleh, that was a super powerful game. I'm impressed. I'm officially impressed how he demolished Pavel Ulyanov. And they're going to share the first place together with Kartikeya Morali. Setu Rahman is still playing, which appears to be a draw against Erdos Victor. Tamas Banush is going to climb really high because he finishes 6.5 out of 9. Erigaisi is winning against Maxim Chigaev. And Ganguly is winning against Arjun Kalyan. So I don't see anybody else really participating in the fight. So the ranking after the round 8 was this. This was the ranking. So Morali was leading the charge with 6.5. Salem Saleh was slightly behind, but as you can see, this is a very little margin. So there's going to be a tie of the first place. So Kartikeyan is still a favorite, but I guess we'll see. And for the third place, Gukesh, I think it's going to be Banush. Yeah, it looks quite obvious that Banush has the best tiebreak with 36.5. And he's going to overtake Gukesh and take the third place. Probably. But I mean, the games are still continuing, but I think that's gonna be the top 3 of the MTO. In the meantime, ATO, the amateur tournament, also is still proceeding, and after the 8 rounds, there you see there are the leaders. Is Gregor Tessier from Switzerland leading the tournament with 7 points, if I calculate correctly. Neiksans is in the 2nd place, and Wissam Peng is in the 3rd place. So this tournament we didn't really follow so much, but it's also really a big tournament, over 120 about players playing in total. So today the leaders are playing between each other, and Peng already beat Harish, so that means Wissam Peng is winning the ATO tournament. All right, now let's switch back to the remaining only game. We still have one more game, which is Saren Nikal against Maxime Lagarde. And that looks like a dead draw. Yeah, this is the current position. The rooks are gone. The rooks are gone. I don't see how you can try to play this for the win. You need a rook. You need a rook. And for the overall rankings, what does it mean? It means that probably it's going to stay as it is. So this is the current ranking. So Kamsky most likely, I mean, not most likely, it's already official. He wins the GMT. Kirill Alexeyenko is in the 2nd place. Nikhil Sarin probably is going to make a draw and keep his 3rd place. Boris Gelfand is going to stay. I'm not sure, by the way. Maybe Maxime Lagarde is going to climb to the 4th place. Yeah, I think so. Lagarde should be in 4th place, and then everybody is moved slightly down. So let's just wait for the finish of this game. So black is to move. There's no ideas. There's 0 ideas. I don't understand why they're still playing here. Maybe. Oh wait, maybe the idea is to rubber the king towards the king side. But I mean, I can still play d5. d5, bishop d5, and that's it. Just sit and wait. Just sit and wait. I don't see white ever making a progress here. So king f3, I just wait. g4, I just wait. Take, I just wait. Bishop, I just wait. Here, takes, and that's it. Now this is a very obvious draw. White cannot make a progress here. So the only idea I can think of is maybe. No, I'm out of ideas really. Maybe sacrifice here, but and then try to establish a passed pawn f5, f6. I don't see that happening. Let me reload the board. Now Lagarde decided not to give up the pawn. I mean, he can always do it. There's no reason to do it. King f3 is played. Yeah, bishop b4 is played very quickly. Yeah, I think we should just wait for the finish of this game because there's nothing happening here. I would just like to wait for a while because there is a chance that this game might finish quite soon and the players could join for the interview. The only idea, again, I can imagine is if black is very greedy and keeps the pawn on d6, so white goes here. So then after bishop e1, bishop g3, a5, b6 maybe might work, but black is not obliged to do that. He can just sit and wait. Yeah, they should agree to draw, I think. Let's just wait for it. I just hope they're not going to spend 1 hour on it. Bishop a5 is played. Tournament regulations require to make at least 40 moves to offer a draw. Unless there's been a threat of repetition, they're way over that. This is clearly the second time control. King e4, bishop g3, king f3, bishop a5, nothing changes. Yeah, I think now Sarin is simply recollecting what happened in the game. Maybe memorizing the entire tournament from start to finish. Remember the successful moments. Remember the losses. It was quite a fun ride. I mean, it started on 24 July. Some of the players, exactly half of the players, flew directly from Sochi, where they were eliminated in the FIDE World Cup. Yeah, in the meantime, maybe you can ask your questions in the chat. We try to make it work. Is that Angelika is conducting the interviews with the players on site. She's in Biel, and you can ask questions in the chat that I can relate to Angelika. She's gonna ask them to the players. That is, of course, if they're not gonna play for the next 2 hours. I see no reason for them to do that, but you never know. You never know. G4 is just a draw. There's a question. G4H takes. The only chance for white is to establish some kind of a way to pass pawns at the king. So I don't see that happening. White has the extra pawn, but it's such a dead draw here that the evaluation bar doesn't matter what it's saying. There's a question about Sarin's future. Yeah, definitely. I think he has a bright future ahead. He's young. He's only 17 years old. There's so many young talents coming from India. Some amazing programs, amazing coaches have been assisting them to become better. So I think we might see a lot exciting results from Indian players in the next 10 years or so. Bishop d7 is played. A bishop e1 is an easy move. Yeah. There's a question: when does a chess player retire? I really guess it depends on the person, doesn't it? When he feels he cannot play competitive. But it really depends on the person. In chess, normally a peak is considered to be 33 years. I think so, at least 33 years. So that is considered to be the peak of a chess player, and then he starts to play slightly worse for some reason. So I'm not sure if there is such an age when a player would retire. Chess players can play forever. Maybe let's check another game in the meantime from the Masters tournament. There's nothing to see here, really. Setterman's game, maybe. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness, how did I get to this position? I already announced that it's a draw and Setterman might have overpushed it. So we left it here. Yeah, and the white was not seeing any way to crash through. And here, h4, just as I recommended, rook h5. And quite unexpectedly for white, suddenly black started to generate some problems here. f4. I'm not sure what was happening here, but white was clearly playing with the fire here. And now he has this position. Wait. So they trade the pawns. Rook takes on c4. Bishop is gonna take here. King is gonna take here. Yeah, it should be a draw. I have a feeling it's a draw. I'm not sure about black's last move, king a5, though. Maybe king b4 was an idea to play here. Rook c6. Take. Check. Okay, I'm not very easy, by the way. Yeah, a lot of tricks are definitely still possible here. So that's why the Hungarian Grandmaster played king a5, rook c4. Yeah, this should be a draw. So he overpushed it, but now it's black who's gonna try to play something, but white king should be able to make it here and then somehow keep this pawn. Although it's black who's playing for the win. Unfortunately for white, that's the right corner. Otherwise, he would just give up the rook for this pawn and position the king here, but that is the wrong corner. So you couldn't do that. So I guess we'll see. Maybe some other games we haven't seen is how Kantor Gergely played against Ramesh Babu Pragananda draw from the Masters tournament. Oh, a6. Okay, that's interesting. How to get a fight. Yeah, this is quite a popular setup. Eventually leads to some kind of a Carlsbad structure. If that is what we play e3, c6, a5, etc. It's quite a famous example. Now white decided to strike in the center. Knight e5 takes, I guess, about equal. So white has slightly more space advantage, black has bishops, and pretty solid position. And now, suddenly a big attack started at the king side. Takes, check, took the pawn, but why not bishop takes on h7? Okay, so white took on e6, queen takes on h7. So his idea was to deliver a mate, and by the way, notice how the rook on a7 is still out of the game. But black, I guess, delivered perpetual check. Yeah, check, 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 check. So quite interesting game. I mean, what can I say? Setroman's game is still going. Yeah, but it's quite unpleasant for white. Yeah, I saw your question, but when the chat asked Nikhal about his next tournament, this is definitely something I'm going to relay to Angelica. If there's going to be an interview, maybe they're going to play it forever. That it's not going to happen, but I just don't know what they're doing there. Yeah, Paramarjan Negi indeed also was a super talent in Indian chess who quit chess, as the chat writes here, and made a career. That's indeed very nice. Maybe let's switch to this game and wait for it to finish. Sarn is playing in Riga? Are you sure? You know, that is a very good question, because I'm gonna do commentary for Riga. I have to check it. I mean, I don't know it, because since I don't play there myself, I don't know who is in the list. Let me check it, by the way. That's a very funny remark. So the Riga Technical University Open is the biggest tournament in Latvia. And indeed, Sarn is on the list. You know, he was not in the list, at least he was not in the list. Yes, Sarn has joined the tournament. I don't remember him before, because Kovalenko was leading the top seeds. So Sarnikal is gonna play in Riga. That's where I live. That's where I'm streaming from. So that's quite interesting. I'm not going to Sarn. He's coming to me. Just jokes aside, I'm very, very excited to see him playing in Riga. And also, from Biel, so many players are going to fly to Riga. So it's Sarin, it's Setraman, it's Naranyan, it's Pragranda, Kartikeyan, by the way, the winner, probably the winner, were the shared first place from the Biel tournament. Erigaisi, Gukesh. I mean, everybody's going to come over to Riga. So for me, it's not really a goodbye. I'm just gonna continue the coverage next week. So, but that is a different tournament, different circumstances. Still a lot familiar faces for me, and I think I'm gonna use also this opportunity to make some live interviews with them. Yeah, Sarn is researching some chances. G4, draw. H takes, king f6, draw agreed. Come on. Or maybe h takes, king takes, and try to keep the pawn. There's so many ways to draw this. So the easiest draw here is takes, king f6, give up the pawn, and just do nothing. Do exactly nothing. Just do nothing. But maybe Saren's idea is some kind of a sacrifice on g6. I mean, I don't know. Something like here and sacrifice on g6. And then somehow try to play this position, but this is a only position I think where white can lose this, not black, right? I just try to imagine what kind of ideas he might have here. So h takes here, king takes, king f6, bishop d5, and just do nothing. h5 is a fortress, this is a fortress, this king is not gonna go anywhere, never, nowhere. So the only idea which comes to my mind is some kind of a sacrifice. Check. Here. Here. And then maybe a5, b6, b7 at some point. Here. Yeah, but this looks so risky from white's perspective. Takes. King e6. Wait. Is it possible to play this? What just happened here? Here? So I found one scenario where white actually wins. Yeah, so I found one scenario. But okay, I don't think it's gonna happen. Let's just give this couple of minutes. Like I said, I hope they're not gonna play for 1 hour. I would love to finish the broadcast with all of the games finished and not just one still playing. Because I want to show the final standings. I think bishop e1 here is a risky choice. It allows white to play g5 and get weakness. So h takes is an obvious move. Maybe there's a forced draw up. I mean, there's so many ways to draw this, but let's say d4. King g5, king f7, bishop e4. Okay, this unnecessarily complicates the matters. So it's still easy. Take, play king f6, and just do nothing. Yeah, and after bishop e4, bishop g6, maybe this is indeed white's idea, what he's pushing here. I don't know what to have a look at here. So let's maybe follow the game of... I'm going to reload the board. Of Seturoman in the MTO. Wow. Now check this out. The engine says this is the only move already is required for white, which is rook a6. Why rook a6 is the only move, I don't understand. Where's the big idea? It looks so illogical. So the engine says rook a6 is only draw. So if I go here, king e4, and at least a check, and take, and go here. Apparently, rook a8 loses. I'm not sure why again. King b3. And if I go... so he needs to attack the pawn on f6 so that he can recapture the rook. Okay, I mean, this could be difficult. Oh, there you go. That's the losing move. Rook d7. As you saw, the bar just dropped like a stone. Not very obvious. Now something like king b3. King b3, king c2. This looks actually winning now. Here, 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 and here. Yeah, this is table-based position probably as well. I mean, it should be drawn. Maybe I announce it too easily that this is a draw, but... Wait. How do you get that position? Bishop e5, king e4, okay. And king b1. That's it, right? a2, a1. Rook b2, rook b7, bishop b2. Arturs wins. Wow. What a quite unexpected turnaround. So he's gonna join the fight for the top 3. Maybe top 5. Going to be pretty high. In the game of Lagarde, as you can see, king f6 was played. He gives up the pawn on d5. Yeah, there was, by the way, yesterday, I think it was, there was a new feature by chess.com, right? They have this new feature, which is the table base. But it starts only when... Wait, let me check it. It starts only when you're doing this on analysis board, not on live games. Yeah, now black is completely winning. A to a1 is unstoppable. So Saturman misplayed it. He was pushing it for the win and he was punished. This is sometimes happening. Nikhil's game, you can see on the small screen, there's nothing happening. I already had this position something like half an hour ago. And the only idea I can think of is some sacrifice on g6, but I cannot really imagine it to be a serious problem for black. If the pawns were connected, like the pawns were f4, g3, yeah, then bishop g6 might be actually an interesting idea, but here, I don't know, probably not. There's another game still going in the MTO. Oh! This can be played forever. I mean, exactly 15 moves. White has rook and bishop versus rook. Now, every single tournament has rook and bishop versus rook. Every single one. I mean, I don't recall a tournament when this setup wasn't being played out. It's a classic. I mean, in classical tournaments, maybe less. In blitz tournaments, absolutely. Every round there's somebody, especially in big blitz open tournaments, every round there's somebody who is playing rook and bishop versus rook. It's a draw, but you still need to show this, the technique. Yeah, they should be able. This is a GM level game, so they should be able to show the draw here. Maybe there's another interesting game still running there. I think this is almost the last game. No. No, there's a couple of games, but the other still game is this one, where Black is completely winning from the Masters tournament. Every other single game is finished, so this might take a while. So legally, you can make 50 moves before the opponent's gonna claim a draw. 50 moves, that means 30 seconds each. That's 50 minutes. 50 minutes of playtime plus the time you have on the clock. So 1 hour. 1 hour they can push it here and there. Okay, let's switch back to Saren's game. Now, bishop a5. What next? So black has a number of moves here. Bishop a5, bishop c3, bishop d2, bishop e1. As long as the bishop is kept on the long diagonal, not allowing white to play a5, b take b6, establish another passed pawn. So far the players have been playing it for 5 hours, 5.5 hours, slightly less. And this is move 57. So after move 60, they'll get additional 15 minutes. So the only idea for white I see is the piece sacrifice on g6. So Lagarde is just checking. He's just checking. I mean, he knows this is a draw. It should be a draw, but he's just checking if bishop g6 somehow doesn't land him into trouble. Let me again show you a couple of lines. So let's say bishop a5. Takes it here, f5, king f6, and something like king f4. Now, how do you play this line for white would win? I don't understand. Here, and something like here, and here. I get the feeling that the only player who can lose this, it's white, if he is sacrificing the piece on g6. If he is not sacrificing the piece on g6, I'm out of ideas. Maybe. No, I'm out of ideas. I mean, I'm trying really hard to imagine what exactly Sari might want to do, but I just physically don't see. I'm thinking maybe something like, let's say, h5, trade, go back, then reroute the bishop, improve the king, go here, play 5, I play here, play here, and then some kind of a zugzwang. But how do you make a zugzwang here? Because I can play king e7 as well. I mean, let's say here. Now the bishop cannot move. But I just play here. The tournament was won by Gadakamsky, who beat today Vincent Kima with the black color, playing a very sharp touch defense. Vincent was trying to improvise, but nothing was happening. Oh, wait, I have an idea, by the way. What might be Saren's idea? Just a second. Yeah, so everything is working. So this is the only idea I can think of, is to play king e4, king d5, and bishop takes on g6. Wait, maybe it's not so simple. So let's say king e4, and now I have to go here. King d5, and I go here. Wait, but this is something else. But again, it's still a draw. It's still a draw. Let's not be overly excited. It's still a draw. Okay. So Saren managed to find an idea. So let me explain it to you. So his idea is to go here, sacrifice on g6 and play king e6. Okay, now I understand. But it doesn't work, because bishop a5, king f3, black can just play here. And now after king e4, just take it, a5, b takes. Let's imagine the perfect scenario. The perfect scenario when white pushes forward the b pawn. Black is going to give up the bishop and then play g5, trade away the bishop. For example, just some completely ridiculous line. So let's say, for example, even if white manages somehow magically get this position, even this is a draw, because wait. Okay, this is a very complex draw, by the way. How did I manage to do that? My point was, I wanted to push forward the g pawn. So that's the final attempt by the young Indian, but I think Maxime is too good for this. So there's a move, bishop e1. Yeah, bishop e1 is played right away. So the king is not leaving. So there's even this idea is not even necessary. Yeah, so I'd really love to wait for them to finish. It's been a long ride. Very exciting tournament. But all the great things come to finish at some point. Yeah, as you can see, of course, Saren is fighting with his will to continue and offer a draw, but He knows there's nothing happening here. You know, once I played an endgame, obstacle bishops having down 4 pawns. I mean, I was playing it 3 pawns down. There were double pawns. But when I lost the 4th pawn, I offered a draw, and it was really spectacular draw because the position was completely blocked. So in obstacle bishop endgames, sometimes the number of pawns, it doesn't matter. As long as they're blocked, they're just not moving forward. Bishop d3, bishop goes away, king f3, bishop e1, nothing changes. I don't see anything changing here. Sarin was not winning. He had some advantage at some point, so we can go back to the game very early. So he played his pet line of b3, and if he had any real chances, he missed them right here. After a4, b4, a3, after the Frenchman pushed a3, he had to take on a3. Very obvious choice, by the way. And after bishop a3, knight a4 or knight e4, I don't think it really matters. Takes, bishop goes back. And this should be a great position, because white is going to play bishop d4 next. For example, takes and bishop d4. And it definitely feels like a big advantage for white. But he didn't go it. He instead played takes. And ever since they've been playing this position. So white has some advantage, but not much. So there's nothing to regret for Nikhal. He had his chance to play 50 moves ago. So there's a couple of waiting moves here and there, nothing changes. Bishop c2. Maybe that's going to be its raffle repetition any minute. I don't think the players need extra time after the 60th move, because again, let me remind you, all players receive extra 15 minutes on the clock after 60 moves. And this was move 61. I think it's going to finish. No, it's not. Okay, bishop e1. Yeah, very often the players are revisiting the game before they agree to either draw or resigning the game. They're just memorizing what happened before. And this is the final round. I mean, technically there's no need to save any energy. You can fight it out. Again, in a blitz game, Lagarde would just play bishop e1 in a heartbeat. He's just double checking. Right. Well, Maxime is definitely taking his time. So again, in the overall rankings, it's Kamsky who wins the tournament with 35 points. Kirill Alexienko is going to take the second place with 31. Nikhil Sarin is gonna take the third place with probably 29.5 because he's not winning today. And the only question is, I'm not sure if Lagarde is gonna climb to the fourth place because he would have the same amount of points as Boris Gelfand, but if my memory is correct, he was higher in the Chess 960 tournament. But okay, it's not top 3, but still quite nice. So Maxime is thinking. Not sure about what. Just play bishop e1. So I would like to use this opportunity and remind that I'm streaming on 3 channels at the same time. It's my Twitch's YouTube channel. So if you can give it a follow, I would appreciate it. It's also a YouTube channel of the Biel Chess Festival, which has received quite a lot of followers recently. They're doing an amazing job, as are all of the festival's organizers, making the experience of players as exciting and enjoyable as possible. So also, if you can give a follow to their channel, that would be really amazing. And finally, there's also the Facebook page of the Biel Chess Festival. I'm so badly waiting for this game to finish. I don't want to finish the coverage and they're gonna finish their game in something like 5 minutes after I'm done, because they might have to say something in the interview. I don't understand what Maxime is doing there, to be honest. Just, what is it calculating? Just play bishop e1. What are you calculating there? Maybe some Zugzwang ideas like, wait, I think I found an idea. You know, I'm staring at this position for so long, I keep finding ideas. So let's say I'm gonna play bishop e1. Now white plays bishop b1. Now the idea is that I could take probably on h4. Okay, and this I see. Okay, I found an idea. After a5, b takes b6, because the bishop is unfortunately placed on h4, it can stop the pawn in time. Okay, I got that. But the thing is, it still doesn't change the fact that black is not obliged to take. So you can still play something like king f7. So I don't see how all of this is relevant. Just play king f7 and the bishop h4 is still incoming. And if white make some waiting moves, you can still play king f6, but I'm pretty sure you can already take it here. a5, and now the bishop is going to be just in time. b7, king f6, g5, shake hands. Or do fist pump, right? I don't understand what he's calculating there. So for that, I'm really interested to see the interview. Let me maybe check the NTO. In MTO's game, yeah, maybe this is more interesting. Rook ambitious versus rook. It's still a draw, but this at least I understand. I mean, you can play it. I would totally play it if I was white. Yeah, by the way, the clocks you're seeing here, they will get extra 15 minutes. Extra, on top of this. So they are automatically getting, because it's over 60 moves. So Maxim is not in time trouble. So I don't know what he's doing there. Now this game we are following here of Budisavljevic against Valentin Dragnev is obviously a draw. There's a number of ways how to draw this. There's the second rank defense, exactly as mentioned in the chat, or putting the rook behind the bishop. I made some nice boot camps about this. King g7 played by Lagarde. Okay, whatever. Okay, I mean, there's a million ways to draw this. I just look at this expression of Tsar Nikhal just sitting there, so sad. I mean, it's just a dream to draw. So unhappy. It's like, I don't want to be here, but I'm here. I never know. Maybe his coach prohibited him to make draws. F5, finally. Thank you. All right, so this game is finished. So really, true warriors. I mean, what can I say? It had to finish like an hour ago, I think. But okay. So you can always fight it out until the end, and this is exactly what I did. Took it slightly longer than expected, but still, draw was the result, as you can see. But players are smiling, they're in good spirits. I think that's all that matters. So with this game, the Grandmaster tournament is officially finished. The triathlon is officially finished. So this one of the Masters tournament games is still going with Rook and Bishop versus Rook, but the main event is finished, and I think we might see an interview. Just a second, let me get in touch with Angelica. So I hope it will work. Otherwise, we waited for nothing, really. I'm also going to use the moment to show you the current results. No, they're still not here. Hello? Hello, Angelica? Angelica, hello? Can you hear me? Okay, Angelica is waiting for the players, so the interview is probably gonna start. You can ask them, please, a question. What were they doing there? The file moves. I saw Saren's idea to rear out the king to d5 and sacrifice the bishop on g6. Maybe he can explain this. Okay, thank you. Maybe just other questions about the game. I mean, they're definitely tired. They're fighting it out. All right, so the players are gonna join the interview in a moment. So I think we are gonna be starting it in a moment. So in the meantime, you can ask your questions. Please use this opportunity. This was the final game of the Grandmaster Triathlon. I'm not sure if both players will join the interview. Yeah, there's a question, Angelique, if there's going to be a prize ceremony. So there is a ceremony scheduled, but it might not be transmitted because I don't think I'm going to be transmitting it. Yes. Okay, so the interview starts in 1 minute. And the players are here, as you can see.
So our last game of the final round in Grandmasters Triathlon, we just had a game, Michal Sarin against Maxime Lagarde. It was a draw. It was pretty interesting game. It started also pretty interesting with 1v3 by Michal, which he played a few times during the rapid. Yeah, and yeah, so it was very interesting in the beginning. I think we can start looking at some key moments. Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing special.
Okay, knight c3 was like probably it's dangerous.
Yeah,
to take
okay,
it.
actually this is a critical moment because I can obviously go for knight e4, queen takes,
I
f8.
like this, yeah.
Yeah,
Knight g5.
knight g5. If I go rook e4.
I thought I can take. Just get this pawn.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah, okay, anyway, it looks very interesting. I saw other lines that.
yeah, I mean, at least I have a draw. I think.
Yeah, then that was.
But it felt like out of the opening, White has a better structure.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be so easy. Okay, I can go for knight instead of knight a6 for knight bg7. You don't have knight c3. Okay, you can play in the c3,
Yeah,
but after knight e4.
Okay, if you have f6, then.
Yeah. So okay, knight c5, b1, a5, bishop a1. Okay, I didn't really know how to play.
Yeah, I thought this queen b8, queen s1 was very strange.
Yeah, I wanted to play something strange because I wanted to
Yeah.
win, you know, for the.
That was very
Because I know I
interesting.
can just play solid and okay, wait. But I wanted to play weirdly. No, you
How
play.
how did you feel about the same idea, Michal?
Yeah, I thought it was very strange. I just did not understand. But yeah, okay, it has a point, but I thought it was queen was just coming on draw. or
Yeah, the
something.
problem
Yeah.
was that
Yeah.
later I think that thing was somehow stuck there, yes?
Yeah, sure, but no, but actually I knew, but I just
But you
wanted.
had to try something.
Yeah, you had to
else.
try something for the tournament. I mean.
Yeah, we had actually all the games in the last round were fighting. So
Yeah. So bishop d7. Okay, obviously I'm worse. But yeah, that was interesting. A4 before
Wait,
a3.
I should just take. I saw this and I did not play it. So
Yeah, you can also play bishop a1.
Bishop A1 was not sure.
Yeah, I'm so.
But bishop a3?
Yeah, I saw
But
this.
bishop a3 knight f4?
Yeah, just taken bishop B2. Like this is what I saw this line. I thought white was better, but some point.
Yeah, I was quite confident about my composition. I don't know. Okay, obviously you are better, but
But how? Like I thought maybe you take bishop D4,
c5.
C5 or something, but I can just take BC. I think.
Yeah, sure. No,
I
but
don't know why I didn't go for this honestly.
and if I just play something like,
Knight D4.
can I move the knight somewhere? I don't know. Here?
Okay, I take. Just check A3.
No, sure. Obviously my queen in b6 is just so stupid. But I don't know.
And after this, you can probably defend.
Yeah, after this it's not so.
Okay, I thought I can press
Uh,
harder than I did. But
No, but actually the endgame was very interesting.
yeah, I thought I have some chances.
Yeah, obviously you have chances to win.
Yeah, King F8 was interesting. I don't know.
Take the back, bishop d5, c5. Okay, and here I have no idea how you should continue. Maybe I don't know, maybe h4.
H4, but then what is the... Like my rook is too passive, I thought.
Yeah, no, I know, but you are going to bring your king somewhere. I didn't know how you should put your pawns.
Yeah, it's very...
It's hard, you know. It's too deep for us. And okay, in the end game, no, f4 was okay, but here it's probably draw already, no?
Yeah,
Bishop f5.
I was thinking about
Yeah, but
going
this-
H4, but...
And could you play earlier bishop a5?
Yeah, actually I could have.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Then,
No, but during the game I was just so stupid. Every move I made, I was like, how can you be so stupid? But I don't know. I just wanted to fight, you know. So I wanted to keep the pieces like the queen going to b6. I knew it was stupid, but I wanted to do something because my tournament is just bad. So I prefer to lose all than not.
You're
not to
going
try.
all in.
Yeah, I was going all in even in the last position. Okay, rook c1, that. And okay, here I'm fourth.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
luckily, okay, the position is probably draw. You're not forced to play h4 maybe. Can you try something else?
I thought you played G4 otherwise, that's why.
Yeah, but then it's different. Like, for example, if I play that, I can't play g5 because you take, and this is lost probably, no?
Or why?
Because you are going to play bishop c6. Okay, bishop c6.
Just wait.
And I think I was just zigzag. Somehow.
But even if you lose d6 again. Okay, then you can't. Yeah, actually. No problem.
Yeah, maybe I have time to play d5, but
Yeah, this was the problem always.
yeah.
If you just sit, I think white is winning. Like, again, this is h pawn as well.
Yeah. No, got this one. No, but of course I was lucky during the game. And okay, then it's just draw, I think.
King g4.
But even here,
Actually, bishop b4 is. Okay, bishop g6 is my only try, I guess.
yeah, bishop g6 is the only try. Okay, I was quite happy you didn't try.
Okay.
I don't know. It should be draw, but I don't know. I was just so tired. I was praying that you don't play bishop g6, so I don't have to calculate more.
Yeah, I thought of this, but I wanted, like, I didn't think it right here. I thought it came on g4 or.
No, with the king on e4, it's better.
Yeah, for sure. I should have tried this one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, for example.
I see.
Yeah, bishop.
I see the
Yeah, but
movement.
okay, king h3, for example, is already a mistake. So I have to play precisely. And so yeah, thank you
But I
for
didn't-
that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that hard. Like, okay, I didn't want to lose this game somehow.
No, okay, you're not going to lose, but okay. That can you?
Okay, if you play king d4, you already lose.
Yeah. Can you play h6?
Takes a5, takes. Oh.
No, but actually it was not so easy. Huh?
Oh, it's still draw.
I think I have to.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But you see, I have to calculate. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
But what ideas you were considering how it ends? You were
Yeah, I was considering to try to bring the king up, but always my pawns are falling.
did you
Yeah.
consider some bring king to g5 and
Okay, I could never get it to g5. I
Yeah.
thought so.
No, yeah, that was the main problem. Because here, obviously, I give the pawn, not allowing him to go to. Oh, okay, bishop before is also possible actually. Yeah, but I
Just check on his own. I also did see.
no, but insane. I just to check it.
Yeah, immediately. Okay, it's
No.
not so easy because you allow a5, so why to?
Was the last
why to-
game.
yeah.
It was a hard tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel, Maxim? How did it went for you? How do you enjoy your chess? At least
No,
maybe
actually
not
the tournament was
performance?
really cool because
Yeah.
it was a strong tournament, very nice to play many time control. But okay, my chess was not that good. Especially after the blitz day, I was not happy with my blitz day. So then I started to collapse a bit. That's life.
And
But I think I'm fourth, no? So it's a kind of.
yeah.
And I hope I'm third. I don't know.
yeah, I think
Maybe.
so. Yes.
I think you're third now.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
so-
Classical was terrible, but rapid and blitz.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you played very
Yes.
good
I
blitz.
mean, if you would have more luck, I think in rapid, then
Maybe.
yeah, you could have done it. Michal, question to you. The audience is asking when is your next speed chess match?
Next pitches match. I don't know. I don't know when. Don't know when Amin is going to be free.
Ah, okay. So it's not clear.
Yeah.
Thank you. So how did you overall enjoy your stay here in Biel?
Yeah, it's a very nice experience for me. Just classical was not too great. It was okay. Just first game was just very careless by me.
Did you like the organization?
Yes. Everything was fantastic.
Yes? And you, Maxim?
Same. No, actually the tournament was really, really nice. Okay, I knew the place before because I played in the Open like 3 years ago. But okay, actually it's the strongest tournament I've ever played because I'm more an open player, so I never played a closed tournament. So if they want to invite me next year, I'm done for that. That will be.
So it was your first such a strong
Yeah.
Robin round.
No, actually, I played a close tournament with many grandmasters, but not that strong. I played in Jarba 2 years ago. It was so yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah, we had to fight till the last moment, till the last
Of
game.
course,
And,
I have to win a game, but I couldn't.
Okay, you did win one game at least.
Yeah, I win. You didn't?
No.
Yeah.
okay, so
But you
thank you.
didn't lose, no? Ah no, you
Okay,
lost
lost.
against
Yeah.
Neiksans.
Oh. Thank you so much for releases.
thanks.
Thank you so much for making this event great and with your games, with your play and
Yeah,
everything.
thank you.
And congratulations on third and I believe on fourth place. Thank you so much.
Alrighty, that's it. That's the final interview of the players. That was Rinnikal together with Maxime Lagarde in the commentary, together with Angelika Volkova, who was doing the interviews with the players for the last 10, or maybe it was longer actually, days. So I would like to show you the final results of today. Let me maybe update the position, and here we go. Boris Gelfand beats Noel Studer in the final round. Olympus shot made a draw against Kirill Alexeyenkov from a position of strength, so the Russian never really had the chance to win the game today. Maxime Lagarde played a draw with Nikhil Sarin. I made some jokes there. They played it slightly too long than it should have been, but still, I mean, they're fighting it out until the end, and it finished with a logical draw. But the biggest result today probably was the victory by Gata Kamsky, who beat Vincent Kiemer with black color playing the Dutch defense. And that means in the overall standings, Gata Kamsky wins the Biel International Chess Festival 54th edition Grandmaster Triathlon, 35 points. Kirill Alexienko is in the second place, 31 points, and Michal Sarin is in third place with 28.5. So there's a tie of the fourth place of Boris Gelfand and Maxime Lagarde, but if my calculations were correct, then the Frenchman should be able to overtake Boris because he had a better tiebreak. Vincent Kiemer is 25.5 points, very close, but still missing some important points in the final battles. Alain Pichot is, for him, probably slightly disappointing 7th place, and Noel Studer, the local chess grandmaster, is at 8th place with 15.5 points. So that's it. I would like to finish my broadcast from Biel, and it's been a privilege. So the last 10 days, or maybe it was slightly more, it was very, very exciting to work together with the organizers of Biel Chess Festival, and I'm very grateful for the given opportunity. They've done an amazing job to organize this amazing festival, and I look toward to do more cooperation. In the meantime, if you can, please give a follow to their YouTube channel, because I've been streaming simultaneously at my Twitch channel and Biel Chess Festival's YouTube channel as well. And the action continues. So today there's going to be, I think there's going to be a closing ceremony as well. But many players, they're going to move to Riga. Riga is the capital city of Latvia, and next Monday starts the classical tournament of Riga Technical University Open. So it's going to be Michal Sarin, Kartikyan Murali, it's going to be Gukesh, it's going to be Arjun Erigaisi. Many strong players, they're moving to Riga, and I am going to be providing the commentary for the tournament as well on my Twitch channel as always. So I would like to thank everybody who are watching the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed it, hope you liked it, and see you in the next coverages. I would also like to remind there's going to be an overview of the 7th round, which will be posted on Biel's YouTube page. And after that, the tournament is finished. Again, thank you again for watching it, and take a good care, and see you in the next one.